So in this video, I'm just going to demonstrate what the actual talk was about. The talk was about prophecy and how they believe in Judgment Day because they've been indoctrinated into believing of the story of the apocalypse through religious fables and stories and fairy tales, as I call it. So my point was, if you was never taught about these things in books, would you believe in it? And also, because these things are mentioned in books and people believe these books, do you think that people are going by design based on the narrative that they are indoctrinated into, most likely from a young age? Yeah. So that was the thing. So now I'm going to play it. I'm going to play me asking the question. I'm going to pause it in between.
By God. And until then, there's nothing you can do to stop this system, which I feel is quite a defeatist paradigm for me to adopt, being as I'm not sold on your religious paradigms, right? So basically, it looks like for an outsider, if you're not part of a religion, then you're just on your J's against wickedness.
Yeah. But let me add a point to that, yeah? Because I have to question that sometimes. Going based on that perspective, yeah? I do think sometimes, like, the powers that be that are doing all these fuckeries, are they really fuckery, or are they doing the work that needs to be done? You know what I mean? Because if we need to get to a certain level of consciousness or whatever stage we need to get to in existence, yeah, it has to go through a certain stages, isn't it? Set of stages. And they're not all going to look good. You know what I mean? They're not all going to feel good. It's not going to be nice. So, evil, all this fucking is a necessity, isn't it? So above all these people that we see, what if the people on top, the unknown, are the ones that are actually doing the work, like God's work? And
so he's basing it on religion, which is the made-up story that I was on about, the fairy tale, yeah?
And we're the confused ones.
Yeah, but then that's...
So basically he's labelling the people that are non-religious as confused, and the people who are the believers who are following the scripture and whatever as the switched on ones. And you notice it soon.
That's a kind of like Luciferian Gnostic way of seeing things, you know. And remember I went into that thing. I think was to do with the Kabbalah. Remember the Jewish encyclopedia? Yeah.
And this is why I rate Jed. This is why I respect Jed, because
from the Middle Ages, they had this thing where it was their duty to do as much fuckery in the world to bring about the end time. That was their job. And then obviously you got in the Quran, there's like a deal between God and the devil. In the Bible, there's a deal between the God and the devil.
So basically Jed is referring to these religious books, yeah? So he's calling them out as like Kabbalah, the Quran, Bible, Middle Ages, Dark Ages.
Where he's granted time. It's his actual job and task to do the things he's doing.
I think we need to go. I mean, the devil is very deep. I think that Lucifer, the devil, we got a lot of detail on it. Like, there's so many characteristics that we have of the devil, but we don't have those same details on God. So it's like, do we really know what God wants? Because if the end goal is to all come back to God, wouldn't end in it be that? I mean, how else would we get there?
Exactly. So it makes it seem like Judgment Day is the only way for things. Like, there's no fighting. Unless you're like, basically what I'm saying is, unless I take my shahada or get baptized, there's no fighting the system. There's no winning against.
So basically, unless you believe in what you are being indoctrinated into, there's no escape from this thing that you're being indoctrinated into believing is real. So this is the kind of point I'm trying to make now.
System without God, even if you're not for the devil and you're righteous in your heart, if you don't accept certain principles or certain pillars, then you're just on your J's.
It's not to say that you're on your J's. You like the way, like, I'm not very knowledgeable, but from what I've comprehended
She just says she's not very knowledgeable, so take that into consideration.
Of the dean in that aspect. It's the case of, yes.
And she just refers to the dean, so that means she's religious. So she's going to be speaking on a religious standpoint.
Yom Qiyamah is a...
Whereas Jed is speaking on looking from outside the box into the box. So he's analysing multiple different aspects of the same thing. Yeah, so he's like, all right, this religion, that religion, but the same thing. Yeah, it's being said. Yeah.
It's a fact. Every soul shall taste death. So.
And she just says it's a fact. Yeah. So we're there. 228.
In the whole thing of good versus evil, it's a case of this is the war that you're in. Pick your position. It's going to end how it's going to end, but choose what position you're playing while you reach the end. So you're either going to be trying to collect your pick. Holy books, you will always hear they mention that it's only the few that will actually succeed in the final, like throughout the war. Does that make sense? And I hope that makes sense. So it
doesn't make sense because like what you're trying to say based on what you've read in a book, like this is what I'm saying, based on a fairy tale, like, do you know what I mean? And then so right there, you've let a book convince you to think there's this war. Well, maybe that war exists because you think it's real, so you make it happen because you believe in it. Maybe if you didn't have that warped belief, you might not have those barriers set up in your mind that have been installed by this thing that you chose to believe in. Like, you either was forced to believe in it by your parents or you chose to believe in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she said she was born Christian or something and then she went into Islam. Yeah? But what?
It's up to you. Are you trying to be from amongst the few or are you trying to be with the collective? And so to me, it's not a defeat.
By the way, I haven't spoken once so far. I've just been listening. Yeah?
Mentality is a case of, all right, that's the end. So what are you going to do to fight up until then?
Let me have the question.
Your mic is quite low, or do you want to...
And by the way, I was going to ask the question now, but I was still thinking of, like, how do I put it? Because I was thinking, I was like, logically, don't make sense. What she's saying don't make sense. Don't make any sense to a non-religious person. But the thing is, the way that she speaks to me is as if she expects me to be religious in some way, shape or form, just because she's religious. And this is what baffles me about religious people. They seem to want to push their beliefs on everyone else. I ain't trying to push my belief. I'm just trying to say I don't have a belief, so why should I have to accept your belief as real? And then you get offended if I don't accept it as real. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, this is where religion's warped and it radicalizes people, and they don't even actually see how radicalized they are. Well, I'd say you're pretty radicalized if you're getting emotionally reactive over a descriptive word, and you'll see soon.
I hear you, Ron. Yeah.
Oh, and Jedi, check your messages. Oh, you're about to check it now.
No.
Still low.
There's a lot of background noise.
It's my Bluetooth headphones. Fuck.
Blimmin' raw! You're bloody mashing up the stream. So I agree with you.
She sounds like she's a constant cokehead or something. She sounds like she's always got a blocked nose. Bit weird. But that's just opinion. I just threw that in there just for a fucking... give her something to talk about. And that's the thing. I just threw that in there because I know she's a reactive person. And it's religion that's made her like that, and you'll see now.
I agree with you. I agree. I don't think it's a defeatist thing. It's like you're given a choice, isn't it? Like either you, like, just pick a side.
it's like the fight is there. You can't escape the fight. The fight is still gonna be there. So what are you gonna?
What is she on about? The fight is there. Well, I wouldn't know the fight is there. What are you even on about? Because I don't read these religious made up fairy tales. So what fight are you exactly on about? If you wasn't indoctrinated, you wouldn't know what you was even on about yourself.
Are you just gonna be those that sit, complain, or in one place, or are you actually gonna take some actions? Like, what accountability are you taking for yourself? You already know that's what it is. Why stress yourself about why is it like this? Why is it like that? Why is it? No, just find a position and play it, and ride it out, and yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense, what she said. So find a position. It doesn't matter what position it is. Just take one. Like, just dumb. Just mindless things. Just dumb, mindless fucking things that they're just saying anyway. Which kind of shows why they're religious. In my eyes, anyway, so.
But do we... that was what I was trying to say is, and then you have the question, like, do we really have free will then?
Yeah, of course, because you have to...
No, I have free will, but you don't, because you've trapped your minds in this fairy tale that you want to live. Mad.
The choice of whatever mindset you choose to take. Like, I've seen certain people, when they speak, they will talk a certain way, but their actions show they don't read that. That's not the real choices that they're making. They're saying these are the choice and they can't do X, Y, Z, but I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
I've got a very good question,
Get ready for it. She just said that dumb shit there, yeah. But now watch this.
Hey, hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on, sorry, brother. I just want to keep it on the same topic, yeah. So you're saying that...
It's clearly on the same... It's clearly... This is clearly on the same topic, this question. 'Cause she's on about all this, like, blah, blah, blah. But my point is, you wouldn't believe any of that if you was never taught to believe any of that in the first place, yeah? So how much of what you know do you know? Or is it what somebody else knows and you're just regurgitating it because you've learnt to just copy what you read and see and believe in it? Like, come on, man. Like your Irish man said, he goes, talk about Jesus walking on water. Now, we know that's impossible. So, come on, man. Like, and then the Islamic brother, come on, yeah, and he was like, oh, you can't say that. Well, you can actually say that because it is fucking ridiculous if you really think about it. But obviously, you're religious, so you're going to believe in it. You're not going to understand somebody who doesn't believe in some made-up bullshit. Yeah?
Whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway. So it's basically you kind of deciding what position you want to take. So it's based on your experience, isn't it? Your choices, but doesn't mean you have the option of choice, if you know what I mean.
I know, I hear that, but this is what I'm saying. In life, like, Beni Adam has limitations. We have limits to our knowledge. So rather than just accepting the fact that you're not going to go know everything, you're not going to find the answer.
She just says you're not going to know anything. You're not going to find that. So what the fuck are you looking in religious books for, you dumb bimbo?
Just to every little thing, whether you like it or not. So it's about, all right, you have this view, you take these steps, you might grab some more knowledge from here, you might grab some more knowledge from there, but if I'm stuck.
But what's to say that knowledge isn't bullshit then? Because like, if you're just picking up a bit of information, it could be just like bullshit information, and then you're living off that. Fuck off, man. Fucking weirdos, man. Do not analyse anything that you fucking intake into your brain. Do not question anything. Like, for real.
Got this one particular thing, then I'm basically stuck in, what's the sinking sand? Do you know what I'm saying?
Quicksand.
I'm not moving, but if I actually accept that I have those limitations, then it's a lot easier for me to just break free and actually find the truth that's out there. I hope this makes sense.
Don't.
I know sometimes
Can I ask one
Did you
question?
say if you accept your limitations?
Yeah, because I know this is. I don't want to sound like them kind of. But if you accept your limitations, you understand you're limitless. Does that make
I get that.
sense?
What it is, religious people don't like it when non-religious people speak because they're like, oh no, we can't let him convert anybody to non-religiousness. It's fucking mad. Watch. You'll clock on anyway.
I 100% get you.
And this is the thing, yeah, when people were like referring to what was said, yeah, they were making things up. They was making up their own version of events. This is why I've had to replay this video just to show you that I don't care. I'm in the right for what the fuck I said. And I ain't gonna bite my tongue for no fucking delusional person who believes in fairy tales and make believe and the tooth fairy and Santa Claus. Like some bearded white man's gonna come down your chimney.
My theology is that it's more of an acceptance thing. You can't really change anything because I don't know if we have free will in it, but I know that I've got my experience.
I do, because my mind's not trapped
all
in
I
a
can
book.
do is accept the experience and know who I am in the experience.
Yeah, there's basically multiple choices within.
I'm trying to keep the question in my head.
Go on.
Okay. So basically, as a non-religious person, yeah, and you just said all that, what you believe about the end of the world and stuff. Basically, if you was never taught any of what you know from religious books, would you still believe in the end of the world? And do you think people are trained to narratives, basically because the design's already put there? We just go by design because we believe in the design.
So I didn't call it a fairy tale or a storybook, yeah. I tried to say it in a very nice, subtle way, but she didn't understand it, so I had to break it down further, and that's where I had to describe it as a storybook, okay? So just take that in mind.
Okay, I'm glad you came on, H, because you're a perfect example of what my perception of the example of when I say that people that tend to go into so many things, but what are they
See, because she couldn't think of an answer to my question, yeah, she starts going off the subject and she starts rambling and trying to make sense of her not making sense. And you'll clock this now, I'm going to rewind it back as well, yeah?
Actually doing. I hope you don't find what I'm saying offensive, because your energy...
Nah, I don't find it offensive. I just find it as dumb. That you couldn't answer a simple question that I just fucking asked. Instead, you had to answer it with a fucking another question. That's why you're dumb.
And certain times when I'm hearing the different levels and patterns of the way you speak, you remind me a lot of...
Now, I didn't once call it a storybook, and she's already having a go at me, yeah? She's already taken offence. So this is before I even called it a storybook. I'm going to replay it as well.
No, just, find a position and play it and, ride it out. And, yeah.
But do we... that was what I was trying to say is, and then you have the question, like, do we really have free will then?
Yeah, of course, because you have the choice of whatever mindset you choose to take. Like, I've seen certain people...
So get ready for it in a sec, yeah?
They will talk a certain way, but
just get ready for it.
Their actions show...
Because I'm going to say my question in a non-offensive way. I'm going to ask my question in a non-offensive way. A way that anybody who's not religious would normally ask a fucking question, yeah? Without trying to offend the bitch. And look how she switches it up and tries to make out that I called it, that I offended her there. I didn't actually offend her there. I actually broke it down further and described it in layman's terms, which is a fucking storybook. Yeah?
Option of choice, if you know what I mean.
I know, I hear that, but this is what I'm saying. In life, like, Beni Adam has limitations. We have limits to our knowledge. So rather than
she's got limited knowledge about what she's even on about in the first place. Yeah, she just admitted that.
You're not going to find the answers to every single
so she don't know everything, yeah, but she's just rambling on, yeah.
All right, you have this view. You take these steps.
You're just talking in riddles, love. You're just literally talking in riddles, waffling on about shit. You just said you're not even sure about yourself. Mad.
What's the sinking sand? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not moving, but if I actually accept that I have those limitations, then it's a lot easier for me to just break free and actually find the truth that's out there.
Like, the thing is, yeah, she's done this a couple times to me now, yeah. And like, I didn't make a video like this to describe.
I know this is sad. Yeah. I don't want to sound like, them kind of...
Like, she's done this a good couple times now, yeah, where we've been talking about something, and I've said a very good, clear point that other people can understand, but she just can't get it, or she just don't want to get it, or she refuses to accept what I'm trying to say. So she tries to flip it around, and you'll notice how she flips it. Watch.
Yeah, there's basically multiple choices within.
I'm trying to keep
So get ready, yeah. I don't offend her once.
Go on.
Okay. So basically, as a non-religious person, yeah, and you just said all that, what you believe about the end of the world and stuff. Basically, if you was never taught any of what you know from religious books, would you still believe in the end of the world? And do you think people are trained to narratives, basically because the design's already put there? We just go by design because we believe in the design.
So, what part of that was offensive in any way, shape, or form? That was a clear question from a non-religious perspective without offending anybody at all, yeah? But look how she still gets offended. And look how she twists it up in some kind of way that it isn't, yeah? Okay, you ready?
I'm glad you came on, H, because you're a perfect example of what my perception of the example of when I say that people that tend to go into so many things, but what are they actually doing? I hope you don't find what I'm saying offensive, because your energy and certain times when I'm hearing the different levels and patterns of the way you speak, you remind me a lot of them uncles, like a younger version of them uncles who sit around complaining about politics, but when it comes to actually stepping out, there is no real physical actions to do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't get what that has to do with my question. She just like, do you get what I'm saying? She just like talking about some waffle, yeah, and I've just asked her a basic, simple question. So if you never ever picked up a religious book, you never knew about religion, yeah, never knew about this concept of God and devil, yeah, would you still believe in the concept of an apocalypse? Would you still believe that the world's going to end if you was never taught that the world was going to end? Basically is what I asked her. And then she goes, oh, well, you're the perfect example. Well, you're the perfect example of somebody, yeah. I'll tell you what she is. She's the perfect example of somebody who just openly says she's not sure about the things that she thinks that she's sure about, but still has an opinion about the things that she's not sure about. So basically everything that's coming out of her mouth is complete pup, and she don't know how to have a constructive conversation in a logical argument. And this is why logic defeats religion every time.
What you're trying to say, I'm speaking from a non-religious person's point of view. I don't have to go along with your version of how you think people should live.
Listen.
She just said all that shit, and then she's like, no, listen. What do you mean? Like, you've just said some dumb bullshit, yeah, that's got nothing to do with the question that I fucking asked, and then you're like, no, listen, yeah? Okay.
No, I was asking a simple question. I was asking a simple question. Basically, if you was never...
See how I said simple question, yeah? Because that was me asking her in a simple way. So now I'm going to ask her in a different way.
Taught religion, would you still think the world was going to end? Would you just guess it, or do you believe that because of the books and the information?
The question you're answering.
Can anybody else answer that?
I will answer you. In my opinion, yeah, I can't give you an answer for that. It's just a theory because I.
So basically, you're living your life based on a theory, yeah? In other words. She just said, I can't give you the answers. So why are you going on like you can give the fucking answers then, bitch? Do you know what I mean? Don't mean to be offensive, but yeah, it just pisses me off, yeah, because she just like tried to switch it up, yeah, like I was being offensive in some kind of way, shape or form, when she ain't got a fucking clue. What bit of asking you a simple question in layman's term was offensive to you, and you couldn't even answer the fucking question? You just had to ramble on about something else. But you're the perfect example. You remind me of these old men who sit around and talk, and they're just not they just talk, and they're not the activists. Like, shut up, woman. What are you even on about? Answer the damn question I fucking asked you, you dumbass.
I wasn't raised to not have a particular type of mind frame because I was born and raised into a Coptic Orthodox family. So
basically, you were, what you want about? I wasn't raised to, you just said you was raised into a Coptic unorthodox. So you was raised into indoctrination, you dumb melon. Like, what the hell?
That level of spirituality,
and then you converted. So you was indoctrinated into one thing, and then you chose to indoctrinate yourself into another. Okay.
there from I was a seed. So regardless of I'm a Muslim now, that seed has still maintained them ties. Do you see what I mean? So I can't give you that. That's something you would need to say because, no, not you, sorry, or someone else who wasn't.
I'll tell you what she is. She's over-domesticated. That's what religion was, domestication of man, but she doesn't even fucking get it. She never will get it. She doesn't even understand why they would make it a religious books like fairy tales, because they want to indoctrinate the fucking kids into it, you dumb fucking melon. You fucking dumb melon, yeah? And you got fucking all these opinions about me, which are just opinions. I think you're like this, I think you... Shut the fuck up, man. No one cares what you think, like fucking MJ, you fucking coconut.
Raised upon that can say, do you know what I'm saying? I feel like my
so
you feel like
what you're saying is because you've been taught that way, you believe in what you're taught.
No, I'm saying I can't give you the perspective of someone who hasn't been taught that way.
That's what I'm not asking. That's why I'm asking her perspective. I'm not just asking her perspective. I'm asking everybody on the panel their perspective. But she chose to dominate the fucking thing and make it about her. Nothing was about you, you dumb bitch. I didn't ask a question to offend you, but you chose to offend yourself by getting offended by the way that I asked a question. Nobody else seemed to be offended until you seemed to make a big fucking deal out of it, and you'll see that as well.
Like, do you think that it's based on the information that you've looked into? Let's say if you didn't look into that information.
My point of view comes from the research that I have done and from the knowledge that I have, and I'm not claiming that I have a wealth of knowledge because I'm still learning.
Don't
Do you
have any
understand?
knowledge.
What I know is just
don't
a
have
drop of the
anything.
ocean, but what I'm expressing and what I hold is what I know thus far.
Okay, another example of what I'm trying to say is basically like...
So basically, because she tried to switch it on me there, yeah, and she was just going on like she's dumb, like she doesn't get the fucking question, like she's a fucking animal and I have to teach her the fucking individual words. Alright, yeah, I had to put it in fucking dummy version now, and this is the dummy version.
If I compare the 90s to now, you can say, right, the world's gone a bit fucked up. Like, is it going to get any worse? So you can kind of predict certain things are going to end up in a...
So basically, if there's crop failures that have been, I don't know, broadcasted, obviously you're going to expect food prices to go higher, innit? You're going to expect shortages on the shelves. So there's certain things you can kind of predict, just like when the sky gets a bit cloudy and dark clouds, and you can kind of be, well, it's probably going to rain soon. Do you know what I mean? You don't need a fucking book to fucking a fucking whole instruction manual to tell you how to fucking eat, piss, shit and breathe. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I'm trying to say to her. I go, if you never had this manual that you live by, that you apparently live by, yeah, would you still believe what you believe? And she couldn't answer a fucking simple question because she's like, well, I do believe what I believe, but I'm not asking her, like, I'm not asking her about now. I'm like, if you didn't, like, what the fuck? So I'm basically saying, yeah, that people who believe in the apocalypse, yeah, are people who've been trained to fucking believe that perspective. People who have adopted that perspective because they've chose to do it. Nobody fucking forced you to believe what fucking dumb shit you chose to believe. Like, some people think they're a fucking unicorn and walk around fucking town with a fucking plastic horn on their head, but they're not a unicorn. Some people identify as a fucking man, but they're not. They're a woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make a fucking point here, but religious people just seem to get offended when you're not even offending them. I did not say anything fucking offensive to the bitch, but now I'm being offensive because she has offended me with her dumb, sheepish fucking religious ways. Like, she just cannot abandon the concept of religion out of her mind for a one question. Mad. You can't make it up. This is why I'm making this video.
Bad way. Whereas some people go on...
I'm so sorry. Continue. Some
Yeah.
people go on.
Some people go on, like, do you know, like religion and stuff, where it's like prophecy. That's it. That's the word.
So
what they believe to be prophecy.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is, because you've read in a book and it says that it's prophecy, and, you know, do you believe prophecy because you've read about it, or you've been trained to believe it, or let's just say if you never knew about religion, would you just randomly be like, oh, I believe there's going to be apocalypse in 10 years? What would make you think that? If it wasn't for religion, you wouldn't have that fucking thought in your head. That was the point I'm trying to make, but she couldn't answer a simple question, so now I'm putting it into dummies terms.
The beast, and everyone's on about, yeah.
I believe
So do you think you're associating it to these things because you've read about these things and it's kind of like, oh, that could be that they're on about?
I think it's innate because you got to look at it this way. Like the world ending, is what you got to think about what the world is. The world is to you your perception of your life and living, right? So we already know that's kind of.
No, that's to you. Yeah, don't try to put words in. This is another thing they do a lot as well. They go, well, you think like this. No, you can't tell me how I think because you are not me. So don't try to tell me what I am and what I am not. Like I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Like this is another thing they fucking always do.
End. So the idea of the world ending has already happened, like it's inevitable. So I don't think it's got anything really to do with religion. I think when it comes to the Abrahamic religions, we're given more of an understanding of the world ending and the world as a bigger picture, meaning encompassing everybody on it as an end.
Spiritual aspects, yes, it's the spiritual aspect. Because realistically, hate, with all the wars that are going on, with all the stealing of natural resources, even if you put faith aside.
Yeah, but she's using an example of something that's happened through fucking eons, like through before even time was measured. There's always been conflict, there's always been migration, there's always been use of resources, cutting down of woods and forests for farmland. It's always fucking existed. Like, and the thing is, they're talking about shit that you were never born back then, so you would never know. You've no fucking idea what you're even on about. You haven't even looked into any of the fucking ancient temples, and you'd actually see that they're all built around fucking nature, mate. They're all in dense jungles and places like that. But yeah, man, these people know exactly what they're on about because they've read it in a fucking religious book. Fucking idiots. Never once have they stepped out of their fucking comfort zone to go fucking look at things, investigate things, and fucking look into things, or even adopt another fucking way of thinking for a fucking split second. I've tried to adopt their stupid way of thinking, and I just see it as childish because I cannot come to believe any kind of fairy tale bullshit. Any religion's just bullshit. Yeah? If it's not taught by physical living beings who left a lesson and a moral teaching, then it's pointless.
Do you, in your common sense mind, not think
no, but that's
the world
always
is
happened.
heading
That's
in
always
that
existed.
direction?
Those things have always existed.
By the way, take note, I haven't called it a storybook yet. I haven't called it a fairy tale yet. Yeah? So I've tried to put it in layman's terms.
Existed even
no,
way
but
before
it's existed, but not to this level because you.
We don't know that. We do not know that. There's evidence to prove that it probably has, but we just history, is just.
See, she's like, okay. Well, I can actually pull up the source of information that I'm actually on about. You can mumble and grin and laugh and say, oh, there's not, but then I can put evidence in front of your face, and then you'd be like, what you got to say about that? You're going to turn to your religious book, are you? Are you really? Because all you got to do is go onto channels like Brian Forrester, Parvin Mohan, things like that, and they go to these hidden temples in multiple different countries, that we don't even know about. And what have they got? They've got nature, animals, it's more nature connected. These idiot women, don't know what they're on about. And the thing is, they're just fucking donuts, man. They're just fucking shitting out kids donuts, mate. Making more dumb versions of themselves. I hate to say it, but it's fucking fact, isn't it?
Of history, it doesn't mean it's the truth. It's just a narrative.
So hey, do you think there's cycles then? Do you think time just we just go in cycles then? It just repeats itself?
Yeah, but in different ways. Obviously, everything evolves. The technology's changed, so maybe.
And what I mean by that is, it's 2021 right now. Alright, so if the world's millions of years old, what came before 2021? Oh, it was BC. Why was it called BC? What did they used to call it though, BC? Before we used to call it BC. Do you know what I mean? So, time, religion, wars, Yeah, it all repeats in different ways. I can show you evidence of nuclear bombs, ancient nuclear bombs that went off in certain regions of the world, and that's why we have deserts and things like that. You know, there is proof there where the ground's all black, a certain kind of minerals built up there, and it only happens with nukes. Yeah. Like, so the evidence is there, but these religious people will be like, oh no, this is God's this. It's God's fucking thing. Blah, blah, blah. They'll make some bullshit fucking fairy tales version of reality. Like, don't try to sugarcoat fucking shit because you're too fucking docile to deal with the fucking reality of things. That maybe, yeah, we did have way more advanced machines than what we have now. And yeah, it might have been in a different way. It might not have been computers. It might have been mechanical. It might have been nuclear. We don't know. Yeah, because you can't build a fucking half of these fucking megalithic structures now, but you could build them back then. All right, yeah. So we're actually cleverer than what we were in ancient times, are we? But like a religious person would just always argue the fact like they was fucking born then. And like I said, the truth is no one would ever know. Because we were never born there. Just like we don't know the past, we don't know the future. What we do know, though, what we do know is the here and now. And that's something we do possess, is what's happening right now. What's happening here. And how can you control that? Like, really, stop letting fucking religions control your fucking lives, man. You fucking sheep. Mad.
It repeats itself, but in a different version.
Hey, you know what? Yeah.
Also, remember, I still haven't called it a fucking storybook.
When I've heard you speak, yeah, I don't really know what to take from you because you don't sound like an atheist. You actually don't sound like an atheist, innit?
I don't class myself as an atheist either, but because it's still like it's still a belief, if you know what I mean. It's still part of. I don't attach myself to any group, crew, gang, anything like that. I'm just an individual, and my life is my user experience. So basically, my life, each individual has their own user experience of life. Like, I could never experience what you have experienced, and you can never experience what I have experienced, if that makes any sense.
Of course, but I
so
feel like
everyone's gonna have individual beliefs. Yeah, man.
Do you mind me asking you a question?
You say, but you don't attach yourself to things, but you de-attach yourself to things, though.
No, he just says, I de-attach myself to things. What do you mean, de-attached? If I'm not attached in the first place, how can I de-attach myself to something I'm not attached to? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah? So, like, and this is another thing about people trying to tell you what you are. Well, you're this and you're not that. Well, you don't know what I am until I identify what I am. Yeah? But you can clearly see I'm a man, so that you do know. Yeah, you can clearly see I'm an Asian, so that you do know. But you don't know my race, you don't know my belief, you don't know any of these imaginary things that I'm trying to go on about, yeah? Because realistically, they're fucking imaginary. It's a pigment of your imagination. Countries, borders, religions, race, it's all fucking imaginary bullshit. It's categories designed to fucking divide and conquer, and you're fucking well divided, ain't ya? Fucking idiots, man.
I've been on this, well, I've tuned in.
There's only a few people I rate, you know, lately. And Jeds, yeah, definitely. And Sniper, I give him ratings. He pulls up a good argument. But he does the same as well. He falsifies what has been said. Like, these motherfuckers, after I did say that, they tried to make out that I said it right at the beginning. I didn't. You can clearly say I haven't even mentioned it yet. And this has been going on for a while. 38 minutes.
Yeah, like for the past 2 weeks straight. So, yeah.
So, Ace, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah, I do.
So I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
Just like, so as Jedi, you know, with Jedi's initial question, yeah, I'm curious to know your answer. Yeah.
See how she's diverting it from what I fucking asked her, though? She still hasn't answered the fucking question. She's going on like she's fucking slow or something. But Jed's, it kind of irritated me here because he's taken their side, yeah? When I wasn't once offensive, I haven't been offensive once.
Do you think the world is coming to an end? And if so, do you feel like there's any point?
And my reply to you would be, and you believe the world's coming to an end based on what? Exactly? And that's what I'd ask her. Based on what? Based on your fucking belief? Are you fucking mad? Are you telling me you can predict the fucking future, you fucking idiot bitch?
In making any steps to fight against the system,
very good
if it's ultimately...
See, I got a very good answer. She's like, fight against the system. What the fuck are you trying to fucking do? You showing how radicalized you are over something you don't even fucking understand, you dumb dummy. Yeah? And the worst thing is, yeah, these people are gonna have youth them, yeah, and they're gonna teach their youth to be dumb as they are. Fucking mad.
Gonna end. If that's your, if you do believe it's gonna end or not, I'm curious.
For that. I've got a very good answer. Well, all the information has been put out there. Things like Event 201, they put all these little drip feed things because it's done by design. So they put these things out there so the people who are looking for it will see it, and everyone else, it will just go over their heads because they're too distracted by football and EastEnders, and they know more about celebrity.
I just answered your dumbass question, yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if I know there's this thing that everyone believes in, yeah, and in this thing, it's got these prophecies and that, yeah, and I want to do some shit, and I'm like, how can I trick and deceive? And in their book, it's got trick and deceive, and you're like, there's a manual right there. Like, the book is the fucking manual why you've been fucking tricked and deceived, but you don't seem to see it. You don't seem to see it. And, like, it comes to a very, very pinnacle thing that I always used to fucking say from a fucking kid, yeah. Religions only exist because people believe in the stupidity. If motherfuckers didn't believe it, the motherfucking thing wouldn't exist. You get me? Because there'd be no followers, no people spreading the bullshit because it's not believable, yeah? It'd be like one of these songs, you know, you hear a song and then after about a few years, it's like a forgotten song. It'd be like that. But yeah, man.
No, but I'm giving you a very good... giving you a good answer. So basically, it's done by design. It's done by design. Everything. It's like the Great Reset. That's blatantly telling you it's not the end of the world. It's just the end of a system because there's a transition. It's like the Queen just says that William's going to be the next monarchy. So it's just a transition of power. You got to look at what these empires.
Another question. If you see it as a sort of this Great Reset thing, do you think you are going to survive that reset?
It's a system. It's
no, but
we don't know. Let's just say the clever when World War II was happening, the clever people didn't follow the herd. They did their own things and they got away and they survived. There's people that went to remote regions of forest land and even 20 years after the war was finished, they thought it was still going on. You know what I mean? Like the people who were smart.
The religious people are the ones that got herded up. Do you know why it was? You know what the Holocaust means? In Hebrew, holy cause. It means holy cause. So basically, even the Jews believed it was a holy cause to slaughter and sacrifice. It's a fucking madness, yeah? And you wonder why we live in this thing called culture, yeah? We live in this culture that we live in, yeah? Culture is a cult, yeah? A cult. And you can see how these that are going to be towards me now when I don't go along with their cult. Yeah? It's cult you are. Yeah? Culture. And you'll see how these lot all band together to try to... There's probably like one or two people who back the case and was like, yeah, you know what? They're not getting what you're trying to say. But they get it.
Will do what is...
And everyone can say, oh, well, you could put it in a better way. Well, if you get it, why don't you put it in a fucking better way then so they can understand instead of fucking trying to fucking dig at me? Do you know what I mean? I weren't trying to take a dig at no one here. It's just being logical. Do you know what I mean? Logical argument.
And the people that, like, you know people all your life that you're like, hey, don't do this, man. Like, you try to tell them good and they're like, don't tell me what to do, and they end up down the wrong path, and then years later they'll be like, oh, you're so right about this. Like, some people, you cannot help them, man. You can take the horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So do what's right for you, man.
I know that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You gotta do what's right for you, man. Use your brain, man. That's the one thing that we're all given, that like, you know what I mean?
Hey, do you think there's anything wrong with the world ending? Like, do you think it's a bad thing?
Like, what kind of a dumb question is that? Like, for real? do you think there's anything wrong with the end of the... fucking shut up, man, you fucking sheep.
Like, if we all died tomorrow, today, right now, we're all dead.
Yeah, it'd be a waste. It'd be a waste of...
Yeah, it'd be a big fucking waste. I'd say get rid of the fucking sheep, yeah? Just fucking make another Holocaust. Call it holy something, and then fucking... You should have called the vaccination holy water nation or something. I don't know. And these motherfuckers would have all lined up for it. That's what you should have done. Government, yeah, just give you a fucking thing, yeah? I'm copyrighting it. If you teeth my idea, yeah, I'm suing ya. Simple. But yeah, it's a fucking good way to get rid of the fucking mindless sheep, man.
All the technology.
And I don't agree with genocide, by the way. I'm just saying that, like, just as a joke to, like, because some of these motherfuckers have just peed me off, like, by insinuating, instigating, and making up the trail of events. Like, I was fucking offensive. What part of from now have I been offensive?
All the knowledge. It'd be a waste. It'd be a
complete
fucking waste.
But why would it be a waste? But this the thing. Why would it be a waste if
So these guys agree in the... Bruv, why are you having kids? If you... Like, I've got some good questions for these. Like, alright, if you believe in an apocalypse, yeah, why the fuck are you bringing kids into this world? What, to have them wiped out by a fucking nuke or something? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, if you're so religious, why the fuck are you having kids? Like, don't have kids. Simple, yeah? You believe in a fucking apocalypse, you fucking crazy woman. Just listen to yourself, man. Talking about your fucking kids and all that, yeah. And you fucking talk. You believe in a fucking... Why even fucking put your body through that? You believe you're so gonna die, yeah. Why put yourself through it? Like, really? Doesn't make no sense. You get me? I'm not telling her not to have kids, but I'm just trying to make a fucking point. If you believe in the apocalypse, would you even bring kids into this fucking world? Come on. Logical question or not? But yeah.
that is doing what it's doing already? Like, what do you think is supposed to happen?
What is natural to you? What is the word natural to you? Would you say that word natural?
Say that again.
One second.
Would you say that word natural? Would you say that word natural?
In describing yourself.
I feel life is natural. We.
What I was meant to say, would you say we're natural? And then I was gonna say, would you say that your way of thinking is natural? And when she says yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, so religious books just show up in nature, do they?
They deviate from it, though. Yeah.
No, but we're life. We've got the same organs, everything that an animal has. So if we can naturally think and engineer things, then engineering's natural, innit? Like, we can make things out of nature. That's what we're meant to do. Like, we're meant to be smart. We're meant to be using our brains.
So,
the thing is, we're trained or not.
And what I mean by that is the general sniper argument with the boomerang the other day, and he was like, oh no, it's all based on the pyramid and this and that. Go, shut up, man. You think they fucking designed the pyramid first? Mate, they looked at fucking nature first, reverse engineered nature, worked out some superior math that was all connected to nature, and built this fucking structure based on that. But these motherfuckers think they know it because obviously they was all born back there, innit? But like, I don't need to be born back there to figure it out logically. It's logic. There's breadcrumbs to this logic. But the thing is, you motherfuckers are too fucking lazy to look at the breadcrumbs, yeah? And just too easy to just believe what everyone else is lapping up, man. Because everyone else is lapping it up. It must be true. Fucking crazy bastards.
Yeah.
What's the waste, though? What is the end game?
Also, no, I still haven't called it a fucking cartoon. I mean, a storybook, a fairy tale. I haven't called it that yet.
What is the end game if you think it's a waste? Like, how can anything be a waste? Like, even somebody being born for 1 day or 3 days or 60 or 80 years, and them dying, sorry, being alive, not being born. A child being
a wild antelope.
But it's not.
So why are you alive? Why are you even alive? Just fathom what she is trying to say here.
A waste, though. That's the thing. So, like, what is the end game? What do you expect?
So what are you even on about? Like, she's talking about the apocalypse, that she believes in it, and then she's like, what is the point of even being alive then? Exactly, that's my point. What is the point of you saying you believe in this apocalypse, yeah? Why have you had kids if you believe in the apocalypse? Why are you still alive? Just end your life so you don't have to live through it. Go on. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? But, like, see how she's trying to switch the argument on me? Like, I'm the religious one believing in this shit. She's mad, bro.
Had to happen at the end of life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
when you die, and it's just white noise, darkness, and you're gone. The only thing you're leaving behind are your pitney on it. Simple. So just make sure you just don't train your kids to be like dumb and sheepish, yeah. Train them to be like alert, woke, and think for themselves, so they don't fucking fall for the traps that everyone else fucking falls for. Because you know what? Some motherfuckers are trapped, yeah, and they don't even see it. They trap themselves in their mindset, man. Mad. But check this.
what, like, how?
Check this. I'm about to drop it. I'm sure it's about now. I'll start calling it a cartoon. But look how triggered she gets straight away.
Why would it be a waste?
And sorry, and to just add on to Shani's point, it's still to ask, what is your position in this whole thing? Do you feel like you have a position? Are you actually playing a position, or are you just sitting back observing the entire?
Like, she's done. What do you mean, play a position? Like, what is this fucking jihad bitch on about? Like, play a position like she's some kind of fucking got some kind of control on how the world works. Like, she's so delusionally fucking deluded. Like, you're a pawn because you have placed yourself to be a pawn by being a religious fucking fanatic sheep, and you don't even see it. And you're questioning me on that woman, yeah? So you just listen to the question she just asked me.
Just observing and learning. Everything in my life is learning and observing. Like, I'm me, and I'm not you. You're not me. I am me. So, like I said, everyone is an individual. Like, someone could try to tell you what to do, but it's your choice whether you listen to that. It's, you know what I mean? And a lot of people in this world
someone could feed you information, but it's your choice what to make of that information, yeah? Somebody can be feeding you sugar and saying, like, somebody can be feeding you shit and saying, oh, nah, that's sugar, that is, you know. But you know it's shit. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, just because they believe it's fucking sugar, you don't have to believe it's sugar. It don't make no sense.
Followers, they're not like, they're sheepish in their nature. They idolize anything. Do you know what I mean? You can put a Tamagotchi into society and everyone would...
I was using fads as examples, like Pokemon cards. They come and go. Like, the phase comes in heavy, but then it fades out, yeah? But religion is one of those fads, yeah, that never quite faded out. Instead, it's just split into many other different sectors and da-da-da. Now there's millions of them. And do you get what I'm saying? So, like, if your fucking shit's so fucking real, how come it's been changed so many times, isn't it? Answer that.
One.
I got bag of questions, yeah, but it's so hard to ask a question to a religious person without offending them. I don't mean to offend you, mate. I'm just asking you a fucking question. I'm not religious, but yeah, she's a Muslim, innit? She probably fucking thinks I'm a devil anyway. He's a kufr, a shaitan, whatever, mate, whatever. Fucking deluded people, man.
You put a yo-yo into society, everyone would want one. You put a shambhala into society, everyone would want one, and then it would just die out. Everyone's sheepish, man. You know what I mean? And that's one thing you learn from observation. We don't have to be taught that.
Yeah, and this is like what I mean by the power of influence is dangerous, man. Like, what are you choosing to get influenced by? What are you brainwashing your mind with? Like, dumb shit, clever shit. Are you thinking for yourself? Are you adopting everyone else's thoughts? And are those thoughts good? Or are they bad? Like, I think believing in an apocalypse is a fucking dangerous thing. Because some motherfucker's going to start triggering that shit. He's like, oh, it's meant to happen, so I might as well make it happen. Do you know what I mean? And these religious motherfuckers, because they believe it's supposed to fucking happen. Mad. But I'm the crazy one, innit? I haven't once swore at her. I'm only swearing in this video because it's already done, innit? I'm rewinding back, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, man.
We can see it because we see.
I fully get that. What you're saying is all about experience.
So just don't.
Saying it's all about.
I still haven't offended her yet, but what you'll see as soon as I say that, oh, I'm super offended. But you still haven't answered the initial question. I asked the question a long time ago in a few different ways, yeah, and she still hasn't answered it. It's like she doesn't even understand or acknowledge that it's even a question. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I fully get that because I'm the link.
It's like with the Botox thing earlier, man. Like everyone's, it's because of those. That's how you can identify. You know when people are getting Botox.
And I make a very, very critical point here, and this is how you can normally identify people who have an intelligence higher than average, because they don't go with trends and fashion. They don't follow fashion. Yeah. So you won't find a decent bird who's got Botox in her fucking lips. She's not gonna be dumb enough to do that. She's not gonna be dumb enough to stoop that fucking low. But some of these religious motherfuckers, they fucking do that shit, innit? Like, yeah. But yeah, man, just a fucking point, mate. Yeah. Like, don't follow fucking trends because you'll end up looking like a fucking duck, a fucking idiot. And that's what some of these religious people do. They talk about all this fucking apocalypse and shit, yeah, because they've read it in a fucking book, yeah. And they've all got their own individual perception of that fucking thing. You know that saying, a picture tells 1,000 words? I think a fucking book's words tell a fucking million words. How about that? Because motherfuckers read this book, yeah, and come up with their own fucking versions of fucking reality and what's fucking happening through it and how it's fucking controlled by some invisible force you can't quite exactly explain, see, hear, speak to, or fucking smell, taste. Do you know what I mean? I can't fucking pick it up on my fucking 6-7 senses, mate. It's not fucking real, innit? It's simple. And your perception can be warped. That's what religion is, like... It's well documented as well. Just look into it, but motherfuckers don't want to look into it because it's a conspiracy. Well, if there's fucking detailed books on it, I don't think it's fucking much of a conspiracy, is it? Detailed fucking books on it, you dum-dums.
Those are the people that are the sheep, man. That it's all that is making it easier for us to identify them.
Now I'll say
That's
something
it.
like that.
Guys, big up. I've got to get going, but you know, stay blessed, everyone.
So I get what you're saying about the whole thing, man.
But yeah, man.
Load up yourself, sis. Load up yourself, sis.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, would you say that the sheep have the power? Do you get me?
No, because some people are comfortable, man. Some people are comfortable. Some people are comfortable with the processed frozen meals from farm foods, and then when they're like 30 and they got cancer and they're wondering how they got it, like some people rather cook the food fresh so they have more control. Maybe.
Some people are happy with the shortcuts, man. They don't want to fucking, like, some geezer's probably happy pressing a button on a robot and the robot's digging his garden for him instead of him picking up a shovel, digging up the garden and getting hench at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying? And the other geezer's using the robot, he's like wasting away. Yeah, he's had an easy life, his quick life, but he's got fucking bare flaws now because he took shortcuts all his life. But I'm trying to make a fucking subtle point and they just don't get it. Well, your man gets it there, the next geezer gets it, but all the females in this room are fucking docile, mate. Religion rules them.
It's not healthier, maybe it's just peace of mind. Like, who knows? No one knows, man. We're not doctors. The only way we're going to learn is if we learn from our environment. If I see Peter over there eating takeaway pizza and getting ill all the time, then I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to not do that shit. If I see a man drinking and smoking over there and doing next crud and they're always ill, do you know what I mean? It's just...
I don't need to be taught off a book, basically. I can observe my environment and work things out for myself. Like, how you need a fucking book to tell you what's right and wrong and fucking good and bad and fucking dumb and fucking clever? Like, you know what I mean?
It's like common knowledge. And when you see people in...
And I've always said this, yeah, even though technology and the world has evolved around us, there's many people in this world that are still cavemen. Yeah, just because they got an iPhone in their hand, just because they sound fucking clever, because they watch fucking EastEnders, Hollyoaks, and keep up with fucking fashion and trends, does not make them clever motherfuckers. Yeah, they're still cavemen. Yeah, they're still like magpies, you know, like want the flashy shit. Yeah, man. There's motherfuckers like that and they don't even realise it, and they're usually the fucking sheep. Yeah?
States, man, you just like, would I want to get in that state? For some people, yeah, it's fun to feel like that, man.
Here's a question, because you're a quite deep thinker. Do you reckon you can overthink life? Because in the grand scale of things, I was thinking this the other night.
And I think you can overthink religion as well.
Yeah, like I've seen people like one or two little.
H, let him finish.
Yeah.
Where are you for like a blink of an eye, like, do you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, do we sometimes concentrate too much on trying to change things? Like you, I think someone was saying before, change the unchangeable, and sort of put your life. Some people do put the life second, rather than live it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the game. It's to distract you. It's like, what do you think football in EastEnders is? Yeah, you're chilling out. It's relaxing, but you're distracting and you're absorbing something. That, yeah, man. It's just the narrative, man, isn't it? You got to see it for what it is, man. And sometimes you just don't lap up what everyone else is lapping, because, like, just because everyone else is drinking it, don't mean it's safe, man.
No, and then that's where it comes down to what you were saying then before, which is like sort of individualist thinking. Like, if you're happy doing it, you know.
I've learned what not to do because of observing my environment. I've seen people go down certain roads and I'm like, well, that's not for me. You know what I mean? I'd rather learn from other people's mistakes instead of making the mistakes myself and having to go through the hurt and all that bullshit, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you can maybe wrap yourself in too much.
But then you don't. You don't experience life, then, innit?
Yeah. No,
I'm basically on the same lines as you, bro.
You will always make the mistakes. You will always make mistakes, but it's what you learn from those mistakes that define you, man. Like, some people will keep making the same mistake all throughout their lives and never learn from it.
No,
and they're wondering, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. You got to put yourself around people that are wise and think, man. Otherwise, you just train yourself not to think by... and in this digital era, it's so easy to block people. So, like, let's say someone's telling you that you're wrong. You can just block them and then go about your life thinking that you're right. It's mad. You need them people to, like, when I'm wrong, I need people to tell me I'm wrong. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? How am I supposed to guess that I'm offending people by what I'm saying or thinking? And, do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. It's a very interesting thing, though, what you're saying, though, because I think a lot of it is taught, man, especially this end of the world stuff, Mark of the Beast, man. I'm like, well, you can quote on religious stuff there. So basically, what if these people that want to implement this shit are just going by design, because the design's laid out there for them? So they just name these things in some kind of code after these things that are in these books, and people will believe, oh, look, it's called that. It's from the Bible. Boom, boom, boom. Done by design, man. You gotta think like that. You gotta think like that. How would if you wanted to trick someone, how would you do it? How would you? You gotta think like they do. How would you pull the wool over someone's eyes, man?
Put it in a book, yeah.
But do you not understand? Like, that is the whole point. Like, people, like you're saying, is, oh, it's in the Bible, so you think, or it's written in Scripture, so then everyone's just gonna bring out things, like you said, they're going to bring out things and call it after that, so that people will go, oh my gosh, it's in the scripture, da 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 da. But
yeah, and they put it in their agenda.
Yeah, but wouldn't that
let her finish?
Yeah.
It's the whole point. Like, so the best way to deceive the people is to make the people think that they're not being deceived, right? And that would be the art of the devil. And that's what I'll say.
She's really not making any sense. She's just waffling on now, yeah. Like, my point was, is, do you believe in the apocalypse because you read it in the Bible? And if you never read the Bible, would you even believe in the concept of the apocalypse? And if so, why? She still hasn't answered. None of them has answered, yeah? But still going on, like, yeah, like I'm fucking... Oh,
the devil, Shaitan, whatever you want to call him, that is the whole... well, religiously, for me, that is the whole point. That's the whole point in his existence, is to lead, manipulate. And yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's not through you thinking that there is no higher power, but you thinking that it is all done by design and all that kind of stuff. That is
but it is.
Like, she just basically says, oh, well, it's all done by design. But then you think it's all done by... Yeah, you just said it yourself, mate. Like, she just, like, super contradicted herself. And also take note, I still haven't called religion a fairy tale, a storybook, a fucking cartoon.
Because if you never read that book, you would never ever probably even know about the idea of God. You'd just be going about your way,
That's a
learning
lie.
from nature and life,
That's
and
a complete lie, though. And
you
the
don't know
reason-
that because
Right, no, I'll tell you why.
See what I mean? She's like, but that's a lie. But you can't tell me that because you're religious. You're not the person who should be answering then, is it? Because you're religious, ain't you? So I'm trying to make a fucking subtle point, and I haven't still called it a cartoon. I need a piss in a sec.
I'll tell you why. Because then you have to look at throughout time where many of nations have not been given books or they don't have a scripture, but they still.
Get ready for it. I'm gonna this is gonna be funny, because I need a piss. But get ready for it, because this is gonna be jokes, because other people are gonna tell her to shut up as well now, because she don't know what she's on about.
Believe in the Most High. Many nations that have not even touched the Western world and the Western ideas of what religion is.
Can you give me some examples, please? Can you give me some examples, please?
I'll
I'd really look.
Yeah, I've got to say,
I'd
guys,
really-
I'm
because
with
I'd like
H
to-
on this one. I'm
I
definitely
can
with H on this one.
debunk everything you've just said because a lot of people looked at the sky and knew it was going to rain because of grey clouds. They looked at the sun and knew the seasons. Everyone can work this out because if you're stuck on this planet with nothing, you have to work things out. And then how they pass this knowledge is they put it into stories to make it attractive for the kids to learn because motherfuckers these days are too ignorant themselves to learn. So they make it in an entertaining way, and that's all the book and the stories are. It's just a whole load of science put in their ways because they didn't have the word thermometer and aeroplane and meteorites. They didn't have those things, so they called them celestial bodies. They didn't have the word planet then, so they had different words, and we just have lost that word.
So note that it says they put it into a form of like a storybook to make it understandable for the people that they thought were primitive and uncivilized and child-minded. You can clearly see that she tried to say that indigenous people always believed in God. Well, that's bullshit because them motherfuckers work shit out for themselves. You know what I mean? They looked at the sky, the moon, the stars. They're the ones who made these maps by reverse engineering science. It's like what I was saying to General Sniper about the boomerang thing. He's like, yeah, it's got the angles of the pyramids and this and that. I'll go, not really, because them motherfuckers back then, them motherfuckers would be looking up in the sky, looking at birds fly and be like, what makes that able to fly? Well, maybe I will have to carve the wood in that kind of shape. And then they realise it's not working. And then they probably figured out the centre of gravity of the object. And then they probably figured out the aerodynamics of it. So they knew about the shape and all them kind of things, man. It's not rocket science, but you'd never expect a religious person to figure out for themselves because they're too busy lapping up fairy tales. And I've just tried to explain to her as well how it's like, a story
of understanding because the words have just been translated into so many.
So I'm going to rewind that back because that was very interesting the way I put it. So Jed, you cannot attack me, bro. You cannot attack me about I attacked them in. I should have used some terminology because where did I use that terminology? Like this thing's been recording for like 1 hour 8 minutes, and I've been butting on a lot, but bro, not once did I say storybook or take the piss in any intentional way. I put it in a structural, logical way, and she diverted the answer, come up with some next questions that didn't even answer the answer, and bro, she went on religion, and then you come on there and try to attack me for not using logic when I've used logic the whole way fucking through the thing, bro. So don't try to attack me, bro. Real talk.
Different languages and versions. Obviously everything evolves, like the technology's changed, so maybe it repeats itself but in a different version.
Hey, you know what, when I've heard you speak, I don't really know what to take from you because you don't sound like an atheist. You actually don't sound like an atheist, innit?
I don't class myself as an atheist either, but because it's still like it's still a belief, if you know what I mean. It's still part of. I don't attach myself to any group, crew, gang, anything like that. I'm just an individual, and my life is my user experience. So basically, my life, each individual has their own user experience of life. Like I could never experience what you have experienced, and you can never experience what I have experienced. If that makes any sense.
Of course, but I feel like
everyone's gonna have individual beliefs. Yeah, man.
Do you mind me asking you a question?
You say, but you don't attach yourself to things, but you do attach yourself to things, though.
Well, I've been on this. Well, I've tuned in here like for the past 2 weeks straight. So yeah.
So Ace, do you mind if I ask you a question? So I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
Just like so, as Jedi, with a Jedi's initial question, I'm curious to know your answer. Yeah. Do you think the world is coming to an end? And if so, do you feel like there's any point in making any steps to fight against the system if it's ultimately gonna end? If that's if you do believe it's gonna end or not? I'm curious.
For that, I've got a very good answer. Well, all the information has been put out there. Things like Event 201, they put all these little drip feed things because it's done by design. So they put these things out there so the people who are looking for it will see it, and everyone else, it would just go over their heads because they're too distracted by football and EastEnders, and they know more about celebrities.
I'm asking about you.
I'm giving you a very good. Giving you a good answer. So basically, it's done by design. It's done by design. Everything. It's like the Great Reset. That's blatantly telling you it's not the end of the world. It's just the end of a system because there's a transition. It's like the Queen just says that William's going to be the next monarchy. So it's just a transition of power. You got to look at what these empires.
Okay, let me ask you another question. If you see it as a sort of this Great Reset thing, do you think you are going to survive that reset?
It's a system. It's
no, but
we don't know. We don't know.
Rich is a mindset, just like being poor is a mindset. But there is a difference. If you have a mansion, you know you're fucking rich. If you live in a fucking cardboard box, you know you live in a fucking cardboard box. No religion's gonna fucking change that for you.
The clever when World War II was happening, the clever people didn't follow the herd. They did their own things and they got away and they survived. There's people that went to remote regions of forest land, and even 20 years after the war was finished, they thought it was still going on. You know what I mean? Like the people who are smart will do what is smart in it, and the people that
the non-religious people didn't stick with the fucking herd.
You know people all your life that you like.
And they realise that maybe there isn't no God if this war's going on. Do you get what I'm saying? They realised how everyone was duped into, because everyone was so religious and cultural. So you're going to fucking follow with what you're fucking taught to follow.
Like, hey, don't do this.
Basically, lambs to the slaughter. Better way to put it.
Man, like you try to tell them good and they're like, don't tell me what to do, and they end up down the wrong path, and then years later they'll be like, oh, you're so right about this. Like some people, you cannot help them, man. You can take the horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So do what's right for you, man.
I know that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You gotta do what's right for you, man. Use your brain, man. That's the one thing that we're all given, that like, you know what I mean?
Hey, do you think there's anything wrong?
By the way, when she says "don't I know that," I think that was aimed at me. Like she's trying to say she's tried to take me to water like religion, and I'm like lapping it up. Yeah, because I'm not a fucking sheep like you, dummy.
With the world ended, like, do you think it's a bad thing? Like, if we all died tomorrow, today, right now, we're all dead.
Yeah, it'd be a waste. It'd be a waste of all the technology, all the knowledge. It'd be a waste.
Look at him trying to throw trick questions at. He's hoping that I'd say, yeah, I'd love the world. I'd love for you or you let today, tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking dumb questions. That was a pointless question to the argument. And the argument was, if you wasn't taught about religion, would you still believe in things like the apocalypse and prophecy and bullshit like that? That was a simple question.
Why would it be a waste? But this the thing. Why would it be a waste if that is doing what it's doing? already. Like, what do you think is supposed to happen?
What is natural to you? What is the word natural to you? Would you say that?
Go with the flow, man. Got bullets coming towards us. Yeah, let's go. Go with the flow. Nah, mate, you
One
move the
second,
fuck out the way and
Word
dodge that
natural.
shit.
Would you say that we're natural?
In
Well,
describing yourself.
I feel life is natural. We deviate from it though. Yeah.
No, but we're life. We've got the same organs, everything that an animal has. So if we can naturally think and engineer things, then engineering's natural, isn't it? Like, we can make things out of nature. That's what we're meant to do. Like, we're meant to be smart. We're meant to be using our brains.
So
I think
what
we
is
get
the
trained.
waste? What's the waste though?
I'll be smart, though.
What is the end game? What is the end game if you think it's a waste? Like, how can anything be a waste? Like, even somebody being born for 1 day or 3 days or 60 or 80 years and then dying. Sorry, being alive, not being born. A child being.
See, she's not even making any sense to herself, and this is the point I'm trying to make. She starts trying to sound intelligent in a conversation when she's not even making sense to her fucking self. Like, what the fuck is she trying to fucking say? Like, any other person could have answered my question in a logical manner, but instead she chooses to talk on everyone else's behalf. Like, she knows what she's on about, when in the beginning of the fucking thing she's like, I don't actually know what I'm on about, I'm just going on theory-based stuff that really bugs. Fucking idiot.
Wild antelope.
But it's not a waste though. That's the thing. So, like, what is the end game? What do you expect to happen at the end of life?
Did you hear that? She goes, it's not a waste. So basically, she goes, if a nuclear bomb happened, that everyone got wiped out and all the technology, and we got took back to the Stone Age, it's not a waste that we have to start from fucking step one again. We gotta start from rubbing sticks together to make fucking fire again. Gotta learn how to use nuclear fusion again. Like, she's fucking so dumb in what she says, she don't even realise. And I have to make this video just to call it out. I don't even make dumb videos like this, but I'm having to make a dumb video to call this dumb bitch out. Ha.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
Nah, I don't know what you mean, Bab. Fucking talking waffle, mate.
Like, why would it be a waste?
And sorry, and to just add on to Shani's point, it's still to ask, what is your position in this whole thing?
Do you mean ask? Do you mean ask? I don't ask people.
Do you feel like you have a position? Are you actually playing a position, or?
So do you feel like you have a position? What position are you playing? And how exactly are you playing the position, you fucking weird woman? Like, what kind of a question? She's like, in this spiritual war, what kind of position are you playing then, if you know about this? Like, what the this is what I mean by religious people are weird. Like, what exactly do you mean by what you say? You fucking deluded, warped woman. Like, what part in this spirit? Fuck off, man.
Just sitting back observing the entire
observing,
thing unfold.
Everything in my...
Yeah. I'm just sitting back learning why youth people are as dumb as you are. Not all of you. Because most of you are not. You're very intelligent. But, yeah, man. At least about 3 or 4 people on the show that have passed in and out the show are just like, dumb. And some of you are instigators as well, because not one of you decided to understand the concept that I was saying. It's actually 2 of you did recognise the concept I was saying, but you didn't carry on defending my concept so these guys would understand that concept. Instead, you decided to join sides with these weirdos to defend some prophecy biblical bullshit just because you believe in it.
My life is learning and observing. Like, I'm me, and I'm not you, you're not me, I am me. So, like I said, everyone is an individual. Like, someone could try to tell you what to do, but it's your choice whether you listen to that. It's, you know what I mean? And a lot of people in this world are followers. They're not like, they're sheepish in their nature. They idolize anything. Do you know what I mean? You can put a Tamagotchi into society and everyone would want one. You put a yo-yo into society, everyone would want one. You put a Shambhala into society, everyone would want one, and then it would just die out. Everyone's sheepish,
It's a
man.
fad.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah,
one thing we learn from observation. We don't have to be taught that. We can see it because we see.
I fully get that. What you're saying is all about experience, because
So, Just don't
saying
follow
it's
the
all about
narrative, man.
experience. Yeah, I fully get that because the link.
It's like with the Botox thing earlier, man. Like it's because of those. That's how you can identify. You know, when people are getting Botox, those are the people that are the sheep, man. That it's all that is making it easier for us to identify them. That's it.
Guys, big up. I've got to get going, but stay blessed, everyone.
So I get what you're saying about the whole thing, man.
But yeah, man.
Load up yourself, sis. Load up yourself, sis.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, would you say that the sheep have the power? Do you get me?
No, because some people are comfortable, man. Some people are comfortable. Some people are comfortable with the processed frozen meals from farm foods, and then when they're like 30 and they got cancer and they're wondering how they got it, like some people would rather cook the food fresh so they have more control. Maybe it's not healthier. Maybe it's just peace of mind. Like, who knows? No one knows, man. We're not doctors. The only way we're going to learn is if we learn from our environment. If I see Peter over there eating takeaway pizza and getting ill all the time, then I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to not do that shit. If I see a man drinking and smoking over there and doing next crud and they're always ill, do you know what I mean? It's just like common knowledge. And when you see people in states, man, you're just like, would I want to get in that state? And some people, yeah, it's fun to feel like that, man.
Here's a question, because you're a quite deep thinker. Do you reckon you can overthink life? Because in the grand scale of things, I was thinking this the other night.
But my point was, you don't need to read a book to figure out what's fucking right and wrong. You can just observe society and be like, well, I know what would get me killed and I know what will keep me alive, innit? Simple. Like, you don't need a fucking instruction manual to be like, God said this on the third day. Fuck off, man, you fucking clowns. The apocalypse and the 666, the mud. Shut the fuck up, man, you fucking jokers, man. Blood, if I wanted to make a fucking dangerous thing, yeah, and sell it as fucking something good, I'd make it look all pretty and I'd put fucking 666 in there somewhere. So I'm telling you it's gonna fucking kill you. And if you're religious and you believe this shit, then boom, you know what to look out for, innit? Little clues, little breadcrumbs, man. I think these motherfuckers ain't gonna leave clues for their own people to fucking figure out. You man are fucking dumb, man. Believe in some slave master book fucking religions and that, yeah. Like, all the religions that you fucking believe are slave master religions and you don't even fucking see it. Think Islam was, mate. Made by a fucking warlord, you fucking jokers, man. Do a history lesson.
Yeah, like
same with Christianity. I think kings didn't use it to put their own fucking word in. Oh, we need these people to turn against these ones. Oh, let's fucking demonize them. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Like one or two little...
H, let him finish.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like a blink of an eye, like, you know what I mean, in the grand scheme of things? Do we sometimes concentrate too much on trying to change things? Like you, I think someone was saying before, change the unchangeable. And sort of put your life, some people do put the life second, rather than live it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the game. It's to distract you. It's like, what do you think football in EastEnders is? Yeah, you're chilling out, it's relaxing, but you're distracting and you're absorbing something. Yeah, man, it's just a narrative, man, isn't it? You got to see it for what it is, man. And sometimes you just don't lap up what everyone else is lapping, because, like, just because everyone else is drinking it, don't mean it's safe, man.
No, and then that's where it comes down to what you were saying then before, which is like sort of individualist thinking. Like, if you're happy doing it, you know.
I've learned what not to do because of observing my environment. I've seen people go down certain roads and I'm like, well, that's not for me. You know what I mean? I'd rather learn from other people's mistakes instead of making the mistakes myself and having to go through the hurt and all that bullshit, man.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but you can maybe wrap yourself in too much.
But then you don't. Yeah, you don't experience life, then, innit?
Yeah. No,
you're basically on the same line as you, bro.
You will always make the mistakes. You will always make mistakes.
Nah, Chevs, you cannot be on the same line as me because you just attacked me straight after when I say what I say. Even though I've been bare patient trying to describe it in a more than clear context.
But it's what you learn from those mistakes that define you, man. Like, some people will keep making the same mistake all throughout their lives and never learn from it.
No,
and they're wondering, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. You got to put yourself around people that are wise and think, man. Otherwise, you just train yourself not to think by And in this digital era, it's so easy to block people. So like, let's say someone's telling you that you're wrong, you can just block them and then go about your life thinking that you're right. It's mad. You need them people to, like, when I'm wrong, I need people to tell me I'm wrong. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? How am I supposed to guess that I'm offended people by what I'm saying or think?
And see how I say this as well before I even mention anything about cartoons and shit. I'm like, if I'm wrong, I'd like people to let me know. And I think they use this to basically just try to character assassinate my views. Weirdos, man, weirdos.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. It's a very interesting thing, though, what you're saying, though, because I think a lot of it is taught, man, especially this end of the world stuff, Mark of the Beast, man. I'm like, well, you could quote on religious stuff there. So basically, what if these people that want to implement this shit are just going by design, because the design's laid out there for them. So they just name these things in some kind of code after these things that are in these books, and people will believe, oh, look, it's called that. It's from the Bible. Boom, boom, boom. Done by design, man. You gotta think like that. You gotta think like if you wanted to trick someone, how would you do it? How would you? You gotta think like they do. How would you pull the wool over someone's eyes, man?
Put it in a book, yeah.
But do you not understand? Like, that is the whole point. Like, people, like you're saying, is, oh, it's in the Bible, so you think, or it's written in Scripture, so then everyone's just gonna bring out things, like you said, they're going to bring out things and call it after that, so that people will go, oh my gosh, it's in the scripture, da, 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 da. But
yeah,
then,
and they put it in their agenda.
Yeah, but wouldn't that
Let her finish.
Yeah.
It's the whole point. Like, so the best way to deceive the people is to make the people think that they're not being deceived, right? And that would be the art of the devil. And that's what I'll say devil, but shaitan, whatever you want to call him, that is the whole. Well, religiously, for me, that is the whole point. That's the whole point of his existence, is to lead, manipulate, and exactly. Yeah. And that's not through you thinking that there is no higher power, but you thinking that it is all done by design and all that kind of stuff. That is
but it is, because if you never read that book, you would never ever probably even know about the idea of God. You'd just be going about your way, learning from nature and life.
That's a complete lie, though. And
you don't know that because
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because you have to look at throughout time where many of nations have not been given books, or they don't have a scripture, but they still believe in the Most High.
Examples, please. Examples. Don't just fucking make claims, yeah, and don't have anything to back up the bullshit you're saying, because I'll call you out for that shit. And I have, and she didn't give no examples. And I can give her plenty of examples where they had indigenous, like, tribes that figured shit out for themselves, man. No religion.
Many nations that have not even touched the Western world and the Western ideas of what religion is.
Can you give me some examples, please? Can you give me some examples, please?
I'd
really look.
I've got to say, guys, I'm with H on this one. I'm definitely with H on this one.
Everything you've just said, because a lot of people looked at the sky and knew it was going to rain because of grey clouds. They looked at the sun and knew the seasons. Everyone can work this out, because if you're stuck on this planet with nothing, you have to work things out. And then how they pass this knowledge is they put it into stories to make it attractive for the kids to learn, because motherfuckers these days are too ignorant themselves to learn. So they make it in an entertaining way, and that's all the book and the stories are. It's just a whole load of science put in their ways, because they didn't have the word thermometer and aeroplane and meteorites. They didn't have those things, so they called them celestial bodies. They didn't have the word planet then, so they had different words, and we just have lost that version of understanding, because the words have just been translated into so many different languages and versions.
I was going to say, I know, I'm driving, that's why I try and mute up all the time. I think you hit the nail on the head, lad. I think people are reading books and not understanding nature anymore. Genuinely, people don't know the seasons.
Yeah,
they don't know. Even I can see the seasons changing now. Bluebells are coming up later in spring. I'm looking at mistletoe now. Mistletoe's still out. You know what I mean? It's and this is, I can see exactly what you mean, lad. Yeah, it can take it away from the actual.
If you look into the oldest religions, you know, the temples, they had carvings of animals on. That's not like for religious things. That's because they worshipped nature back then. And then obviously the dominating religions obviously just occupied and took over and subjugated.
They always believed in the Most High. That's the thing. That's the thing. So if you look at all this, so we call them pagans, right? So we say these people are pagans because they worship the sea, they worship this, they worship the sun, and all that kind of stuff, and assign gods to these things.
A person that believes in themselves will test the king, and that's what they don't want.
All right, 1 second, yeah.
They get you to believe God, so you don't believe in yourself. If you believed in yourself, you'd overthrow the king because you'd believe in. You get what I'm saying? So it's the biggest.
You don't understand religion then, because the whole point in it is to.
No, I just understand the difference.
Yourself. No, this is the thing. You don't understand.
And this is another thing where she pisses me off, where she's like, "You just don't understand this." No, I understand the concept of religion. I'm not that dumb, yeah, but I'm not dumb enough to take it literally, if that makes any sense. These motherfuckers believe this shit literally, like they cannot see it in any other narrative or context. They can only see it in the way that they want to see it in it. So anybody else with an ulterior narrative than theirs, they attack. And watch, you'll hear it all now.
Then, well, you don't understand Islam. Let me just say that, for instance, because in Islam, the whole point is that you are to believe in yourself and to believe that you have the powers to do X, Y, and Z, but the ultimate power comes from the Most High. So you're not a god, yeah? People shouldn't bow down to you.
Based on what you believe, though, that's what I'm saying. Based on what you believe, because you've been taught to believe that. I don't need to adopt your belief and go along with your narrative because you believe in the fairy tale that you chose to believe. I don't believe in fairy tales.
What you're doing.
So that's when I've only just called it that, and then now she goes on like I've been saying it the whole way through. This is the first time I've actually mentioned the word fairy tale. Mad.
To me, it's not offensive because
that's not nice.
My
Shut
opinion.
up, Chef, man. Stop backing the case of
offensive? It's very difficult to not. It's very difficult not to offend a religious person, even when I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to offend you.
No, but. Hold up, hey. But you say
it's the language, you know. It's the language. So if I was saying it in German, would that offend you? If I was saying it in French, would that offend you? I'm offended by the language that your book's written in. How about that?
Funny. Okay. Go on, sis.
About offensive.
Yeah.
So like for the whole time, yeah, I haven't used that word once, yeah. I've refrained from even describing it in that shape or form, yeah. I didn't once call it a fairy tale then, yeah. So because she did not get the question that I've been asking her, yeah, this video has been like 1 hour and a half now, and I've actually retracked about twice on parts of it. Just to highlight and double point out, because I don't give a shit, man. I don't lie for no one, yeah. And I ain't gonna make someone talk shit and lie about things that was said and done when they weren't fucking said and done in the way that you're trying to say they were said and done. You fucking dumb bimbo, yeah. So I did not once say it was a cartoon or a fucking story, made up story, fairy tale or whatever until now, yeah? And look how she reacts. She reacts as if I've been saying it the whole way through and I've been offending her the whole way through. Well, no, actually, I wasn't offending you the whole way through. I did actually put it in layman's term. I put it in a terms that I can train a fucking monkey to understand that. Do you get what I'm saying? And you still fail to understand the fucking question. You just started answering with questions yourself. You fucking dummy.
Go on, Jenny. I agree.
And you think fucking religious people are civilized. Fuck off, man. Get the fuck out of here.
By you say... Wait. Let me talk. Hold up. Sorry. By you saying fairy tale, yeah, if we look at the language being used, and we know the rest...
Yes, Chevs, I've only just said it. I didn't say it for the last half an hour. I've just said the word fairy tale, and now you're all triggered because I put it in layman's terms, in an even further term for you to fucking understand, because you still don't get the fucking question.
Rhetoric of how the thing moves. You know, Rabom, somebody's going to be offended by that. So just choose your words wisely. She's not trying to offend you by talking to you about, come back in.
But how else would it be described then to a non-religious person? How would a storybook? How would a storybook?
You don't believe in.
But she doesn't understand yet. But her reaction is only amplifying the other birds. You get what I'm saying? Oh, well, you could have said this. No, actually, I have been saying alternatives, but you just haven't understood. The whole fucking way through the combo, I have not once said a fairy tale storybook. You get me? It's only when I said that, all of a sudden, boom. What do you mean? I'm just trying to break it down in a more understandable way for you to understand, because you're clearly not understanding the question that I've asked you about 4 times now, in multiple different ways. Like, what the actual fuck is wrong with these religious fucking weirdos, man?
You could just say that it's something you don't believe in. But why do you have to call it a whole fairy tale? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the words that...
How is it descriptive? If you believe in what you believe so much, that would not have offended you. It's a descriptive word to a non-religious person. If you were so deep-rooted in your belief, that would not have offended you, because to you it was truth, not a fairy tale. So a descriptive word shouldn't have offended you. This is what I mean.
Exactly my point, yeah. So the whole time, yeah, I've been saying basically fairy tale in multiple different ways, yeah. But now I've actually just called it for what it is. Now all of a sudden she's offended. Shut the fuck up, man, please. And any fucking religious idiot, yeah, who's just like, they're right, you're fucking weird as well, you fucking weirdos.
You cannot have a debate, you cannot have a structured debate with a religious person without offending them. It's mad.
You're going to have to let other people speak.
No, I will, but I just meant my...
She's like, you got to let other people speak. So wait there, you're attacking me right now, trying to accuse me of... But they're going to start accusing me of shit, yeah? And now she's like, oh, gotta let other people talk, just like you let other people talk. Shut up, man, you fucking dumb bitch. You just think you're clever, but you don't make no sense of anything you say. The words you use them out of context anyway. So, like, you're just trying to sound clever, but you're just some bored housewife sitting in a yard, just breeding up her fucking self, shitting out kids, and think you're fucking clever because you read a fucking book. Because you're that bored and you got nothing better to do. You got no fucking time to learn a skill or learn to do something for yourself. But what you do is sit on this shit all day. And yeah, man, yeah, it's what you are. I just thought I'd just say it. Fuck it.
My point's proven.
It's not proven because you're saying
clearly it is proven, because you couldn't answer a simple question that I put it in about 4 different ways. And then when I put it in the most basic way of describing a made-up story, yeah, that's clearly fucking fictional, yeah, as a storybook or a fairy tale, you take offence. But technically that's what I've said the other 4 times, but in a more calm way.
You're saying it's descriptive to call it a fairy tale when you're assigning... an actual thing, which is fairy tale. There's not a descriptive word. A fairy tale is an actual thing. It's a made-up book for children.
Come on, Irishman. Come
right?
on,
It's a child's book made up.
Brap. She just said it. She says, a fairy tale is a children's book, a made-up children's book, yeah? What did I just say about religion? Previous to her saying this? So basically, she's backing up what I'm saying. So I said religious was made to sound like fairy tales and fables, yeah. So children would adopt it because it would be appealing to them. Like, you know, it's like, what do kids do when they hear about Spider-Man and Superman? Like, same fucking thing, same fucking concept, but you just don't get it, you dummies, man. You're so indoctrinated into your dumb shit. You'd always be blind to it. Even if I pinned your eyes open for you to see it, you'd still refuse to see it. You'd still choose not to see it. Like,
you're comparing that doing a religion that I follow a fairy tale. It's not describing anything. It's just being offensive. So
fairy tale.
Yeah.
Tales are old folk tales, which are the same thing. Sorry, Shani. Fairy tales used to be believed as much as the scriptures are believed now.
Thank you,
Heathen,
thank you,
a
Heathen.
fairy tale is for children, and he knows exactly what he's doing by using that language.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can happily and strongly agree that a religious book is for a child. Hence the reason that when you was a child, you got indoctrinated into religion, yeah, and you lapped it up, and then when you got your own choice and you're like, oh, there's other religions out there, oh, I'll choose this thing to believe, and that's when you decided to choose something for you to believe in, yeah. Whereas I didn't get that indoctrination. I got a choice. Yeah, believe in what you can prove. Can you prove God? No, you can't. So don't believe in that bullshit. Yeah. So don't try to question anybody else's logic just because you don't have logic and because you're incapable of fathoming logic. Yeah. It's not my problem. It's your problem. You're dumb. Yeah. You're dumb. But even Heathen says, even your boy here backs my case. Yeah. And he's right too.
You never used to be for children.
Babes. You're not going to change.
He doesn't have respect for
Like, you're fighting a war.
He doesn't have respect for religion. Shut the fuck up. Of course I don't. I think it's all fake, made up shit. So why the fuck would I respect you fucking dummy?
You're not going to win. H is
But hold up, can you not hear me now, yeah?
Shevs is religious too, so you're not in any way, shape or form allowed to have an opinion on non-religious things because you're religious on it, so you're gonna have that religious viewpoint. Just saying. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 people against me. Jed comes in and mediates. I wouldn't say he's fully against me, but he just doesn't agree with what I just said here, which I don't see nothing wrong with it. He tried to say I should have used smarter words. Mate, that's what I did from the beginning of the video. Did you not see? Smart words. Very careful of how I'm saying things. I say it in a very clear and concise way in which she'd be able to understand the question. And she was unable to answer the question on 4 attempts. Instead, she just diverts the fucking question with questions about bullshit, fucking more fairy tales and fables and folklore and all this bullshit. And like I said, I'm not religious, so I ain't got to fucking believe this bullshit. And yeah, man, like what the fuck, man? Jehovah's Witness, fucking, I gotta just fucking nod my head every fucking time they open. Nah, bro.
Okay, continue talking, babe. I want to talk after you, yeah?
Continue my point really quick, no worries, yeah?
Yeah,
so
go on.
The Quran already tells you, Shani, babe, certain people, when you argue with them, their position is solid. They're just going to end up insulting your religion. So you've got to learn sometimes just to...
She just said it. Her book told her this. Her book says that, yeah, if anyone says that this isn't real, yeah, they're liars. Fucking hell, bro. You believed a fucking... You was manipulated by shapes and patterns that you was trained to understand meant certain specific things, and you live by that. Yeah? Witchery, sorcery, you're under a spell, you fucking warped woman. Mad. But yet, I'm wrong for not being religious. Like, fuck off, man.
Kind of let...
Yeah, no, but it's the thing. I'm not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sarah, I hear you. Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not offended that he doesn't agree with Islam.
You're super offended that I don't agree with Islam. You're super offended that I find any religion unbelievable, because now you're all offended, aren't you? And that's the thing. It's like she felt attacked. The whole time, she was the one who felt attacked, and then she made other people feel like they're attacked because they're also religious. So this is what religious people do, and it's very, very interesting to observe the psychology of just crazy people, mate. It's actually interesting to understand there's crazy people that actually exist on this planet, and they're usually religious people. They would actually rip your head off, yeah, for words, for sounds that are coming out of mouth. Mad.
Right, that's not a problem. And the thing is, the whole conversation is about him not. We're having a dispute on what belief is and so on.
By the way, this is the moment, yeah, where she makes out that I've been super disrespectful the whole way. When, as you can hear, I've only just called it a cartoon once, or whatever I called it. But yeah, she makes a big hoo-ha of one time when I said it, when the whole time I've tried to put it into fucking dummy terms, yeah, and she still didn't get it, so I had to put it into even dummier terms, and then she gets offended by it instead of getting the fucking point. Dumb, you dumb bitch. Fuck, I don't even regret saying it, you're a dumb bitch.
That's perfectly fine. But it's when you start being offensive and calling what I believe as fairy tale now, you now...
Exactly what you believe is not what I believe, you dumb bitch. So if you choose to get offended, that's your choice.
You've crossed the line.
Unnecessary.
That was an homonym. It was unnecessary.
So what happens when I cross the line? Do you do jihad on me or some bullshit, yeah? Is that what it is, yeah? That's what I mean. But what do you mean about across the line, you fucking deluded bitch? Go feed your kids, man. Fucking chatting to fucking strangers all fucking day. Teach your kids something, man. Teach your kids how to not be a fucking dummy like you. In fact, do not teach your kids. You're not in a fucking mental state to do so. Fucking deluded woman.
I think, yeah, that's what I was trying to say to you, H. I was just trying to say, Rabum. You could have said, Rabum, you know what? What you believe in, that's just what. No, I just don't believe in that. Do you understand? There's different ways of saying things. And I'm sure you knew when you were saying what you were saying, that it was going to be offensive. Because anything that you believe in, H, if somebody was to call it a fairy tale, it would hit a nerve. So I would just say, be respectful.
Not really, Chevs, because like I said, I asked the question in 4 different ways and she still failed to answer the question. And when she realised she couldn't have the answer for the question because she would contradict herself, she decided to attack me with the way that I chose to ask the question. What I asked it in a fucking simplistic way that a child should fucking understand. Do you believe in fairy tales or reality, son? You know, oh daddy, oh yeah, man. Fucking weird woman.
You get me? And know how to word your thing, Carl.
So,
you don't want to just be offensive for no reason. And now it goes off topic from what we were talking about.
No, actually, Chevs, stop lying. I haven't diverted the topic once. I've actually stayed on topic 100% of the time. Like, my question has not changed. The way I've asked the question has changed, but the question still remains the same. But she just hasn't answered the question. So, yeah, stop fucking butting in, Chevs, and try to be a mediator. When you're religious yourself, I think we need somebody who's unbiased in this fucking argument to mediate. Yeah? Somebody who's capable of seeing an unbiased way. And it's not you.
Feel me? Because we all know what fairy tale means. We've been here long enough.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, it means the same thing as a religion, a made-up story made of make-believe that a child's mind would believe. And for her to believe make-believe stories, she must have a fucking child mind. Yeah? For her not to get the fucking question the first 3 times I asked it in a different way, she must have a child's brain. So yeah, I am right for what I say.
Bro, Chev, so basically, Chev, let me defend myself then. Okay, no, so you're basically saying that because she sees religion as truth, so I've got to describe religion as truth because she wants to describe it as truth. No, this is what you're saying.
No one said that.
I'm saying another thing. Yeah, you just said with your own. You just said. No, she just said with her own mouth. No, listen, Chevs, man. Chevs. She said it herself with her own mouth. She said fairy tales are for children. Fairy tales are for children. Yeah. And when was you brought into religion?
And I'm so glad I got photographic memory, yeah, because I've said that on the live stream and then I pulled it back and boom, she said it earlier and I pointed it out, so boom.
When you was a child, exactly. Argument done. So
religion's
for children.
It's not argument.
It's not argument.
It's not that.
You said it with your own mouth.
Hey,
said it with your own mouth. Fairy tales are for children.
Hold on.
That's what you said. I didn't say that. You said fairy tales are for children.
Hold on, guys. When you say
it's a descriptive word, how are you?
Sorry, can we let H talk? Just let him finish, and then Zulu, you can come in.
He just talks and talks, man.
Oh well, he's gone now. Go on.
By the way,
He just talks and talks. Shut up, man, you fucking brainwashed sheep, man. You know so much about history, innit? This a fucking deluded muzzy as well, mate. I don't actually give a shit, mate. You're an actual weird fucking cunt as well.
Shani wasn't born a Muslim, so I don't know what you're laughing.
I didn't say she was born a Muslim, yeah? I clearly stated earlier she was born a Christian and she chose to become a Muslim. Yeah. So this is another thing. When I said they like to assume what I've said when I know what the fuck I said. I'm not deluded like you like in religion. My mind is sane, and the fact that I can retrace every fucking thing that I said clearly and the context in which I said it proves that. Yeah. That's why I'm making this video, just to show you how crazy some of these people actually are and how deluded some of them are.
Exactly, it makes no sense because I didn't come to Islam.
He's just waffling at this point. I feel like he's just venting.
Idiot, so dumb. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you're just assuming now because I didn't. No, there's no point. There's like not one point when I said that anything to do with what you're on about right now. Like, you know what I mean? So this is another thing. They're just trying to divert it, change the argument about something that it wasn't even about in the first place. Boom.
I can't lie. I'm disappointed in H. I am, because
it was a good
I
convo
expected
as well.
more
Could have gone somewhere.
from him, and all he had to say was, "Well, okay, it's just your book."
It could have gone somewhere if they answered the question I had asked, but they refused to answer. So they did the convo with the dumb fucking simple minds going by fucking textbook because their brains don't think for themselves.
Then, because this is the thing, you know what you're trying to do. You're not stupid.
No, Chevs, what exactly am I trying to do? Because no, I don't see what I'm trying to do. Explain, please.
Stupid, H. You're not.
I know I'm not stupid. That's why I was trying to describe it in a more simplistic way for them to understand, but they still didn't understand the fucking question because they're just dumb and religious, innit?
Stupid. So you know, by you using the word fairy tale, it is going to offend someone, because that is something that they strongly believe. This is something that they strongly believe in. If I was to turn around and say whatever you...
So basically, because you believe in something strongly, I have to adopt that strong belief. Fuck off with that fucking concept. Because you believe in Santa Claus does not mean that I have to believe it. Because you believe in the Easter Bunny does not mean that I have to adopt that dumb belief, yeah? I know it's bullshit, yeah? You know it's bullshit. So let's just fucking get real with shit, man. Stop fucking living in a fairy tale, you fucking deluded cunts. And get vaccinated if you fucking believe in your God so much. Go and get that vaccination and see how God will fucking save you. Go on. Go on, you religious cunts, yeah? Because God's really going to save you.
Believed in was a fairy tale, I'm sure you'd be upset. This is all we're saying, bro. We're not trying to get on to you.
Use your...
One second. Listen.
But this is the thing. I wouldn't believe a fairy tale, so you cannot put me in that context, Chev. You could never put me in the same boat as you put yourselves in. You chose to believe this dumb shit, and then when somebody calls it out for dumb shit, you can't take it, and then you're like, well, you wouldn't like it if somebody dissed you for believing dumb shit. But I'm not believing dumb shit, so what is there to diss? What, because I believe in reality? Come on, wake the fuck up.
Like, in the world, yeah, your beliefs are your beliefs, and if someone don't agree with them and thinks they're fairy tale.
And this is why Jed confuses me now, because he comes in like saying, yeah, well, he don't agree, he don't believe in it, blah blah blah, but then he starts taking their side when it's like, bro, have you listened to the thing, bro? If he's trying to say, well, if they didn't get it, you should explain it in a different way. Well, I did 4 different fucking times.
That's for you to be able to handle. Yeah, that's not for them to have to say it in a certain way that makes you feel great. Like, I understand.
It's got nothing to do with makes me feel great. What you want about? I didn't say it to offend them. I said it so they'd probably understand the point I'm trying to make. But religious people just forever get offended by something that's not even offensive. They're just dumb.
Yeah, I understand. Hold on, I understand. You take great pride in what you believe in, and you would like people to be as respectful of your belief. But if he believes in something that you don't agree...
Jed, so you're saying they're respectful of my beliefs? That's impossible because they're religious. Just like, make sense of what you're saying, bro, because it sounds like you're trying to defend them. You're trying to defend me, but defend them at the same time. It doesn't make sense. It's like, it's a clashing argument. There's like not a fucking foot to stand on.
agree with, you might tell him, that's a fairy tale, or that's not real. Yeah, and then he might, like, I'm just saying, innit, yeah, because you respect something doesn't mean that everyone else will hold it to the same esteem. And I feel like...
Also, when I says, well, it's like comparing it to a fairy tale, I didn't say your religion is a fucking fairy tale. I didn't say it in that way. I didn't say no anger, nothing like that. Not in any offensive way, shape or form. But yet Jed has come on the thing, yeah, like I've been saying it in some blatantly offensive way just because Chevs has amplified MJ's and that other fucking Sasha's fucking opinions of dumbness, and then that other fucking jackass come in and goes, yes, hate you always negative towards religion. Maybe because I'm not religious, and maybe because I don't have to embrace religion because I think it's dumb and made up fairy tales. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not allowed to have my own belief. It's fucking weirdos, mate.
Fairy tale, hold on 1 second. Calling something a fairy tale isn't disrespectful. It's belittling. Hold on 1 second.
It's belittling. It's you representing yourself as religion. I find that belittling. I find it you're belittling yourself. Yeah, I find that belittling. All right, still with that.
Yo, bruv, everyone stop doing that. Because that's why he jumped. And can you jump back on as well, please? H. Yeah, can you jump back on? Because all this running away, as soon as the conversation starts, you done.
What do you mean, all this running away? I haven't ran away, mate. I just, like, you know what? I'm not getting through to these dumb brick walls. Like, they cannot understand layman terms English. There's not running away, bruv. I just thought, you know what? I'll just go background, see what bullshit they chat now, yeah? So I can go back, make this video to just show that how dumb that they are in their own fucking logic. Their fucking trained logic that they've read out of a book. Fucking mental fucking cases, mate. This is what I mean. Society is a fucking lunatic asylum, and there's very few of us have actually got fucking brains out here, you know. There's very few of us who can actually do a lot for ourselves, you know, compared to half of these fucking lost sheep. You know what I mean?
Your feet in. You wanted to call it a fairy tale. You got to find a...
Right, you knew what you was doing, bro.
Shut up, Shavs.
Wait. No, I don't know about that, yeah. But I'm saying
is... doing.
And I beg no one edit when I'm talking, because it might sound like I'm saying what you lot are saying. And I'm not saying... Because I feel like the way you lot switched and became impatient and intolerant, yeah, we're both at fault. You want him to speak in a more respectful way? Like, if I said it to...
Bro, Jed... I said it in the most respectful way 3 fucking times. As soon as I broke it down into layman's terms by calling it a fairy tale, there was like, bam, 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 guns out. You know what I mean? Fucking mad.
Shani, in that way, she might say, Raj, you know what, Shani? You know what, Jeds? Like, show more respect or don't go like that. And I will have to answer to her appeal because we're friends. Same with Chevs. But H is just a panel member, and he said it's a fairy tale. Now, either you're going to get into a conversation about why it's not a fairy tale, or you're not. But don't get emotional and emotive and try to blackmail him through emotion like he's got a code of conduct he needs to follow because he's not obliged to. And that's the truth. And I'm saying that to you as your friend, isn't it? Yeah?
Can I just quickly say something?
Another thing is, let the person and the person that was being addressed deal with it. Everyone else can like unless you're going to moderate for clarity, don't add another voice of passion to an already passionate kind of overlapping of voices, because then it's 3 people or 4 people kind of talking, and which is what I heard towards the end. Please, can you come back on, H? Because I don't know why you jumped off to do Twitter fingers. Jump back on. MJ is going to moderate, and then you look to have a conversation.
And he picks the worst person to moderate. Yeah. But yeah, as you can see, even Jed backed the case, but then when I come back on, he starts trying to attack me when this video alone just proves, yeah, that I was not once in the wrong here. Yeah? These motherfuckers attack me because of a descriptive word because they chose to take offense. Fuck off, you fucking weird bastards.
Do you know what I mean? But I just gave my 2 pence in. I feel like Don't get over emotional. Because if I start talking about politics, if I start talking about the politics, and you tell me politics is a fairy tale, do I have the right to start getting pissed?
No, right.
Yeah, but politics is something that we can see. Like, go on, and you get me. It's not like some book. Like, it's not. You're not got a good argument there, Jed.
Jeddah, can I explain now? So this is the thing. So yes, I feel like everyone understood that he was being disrespectful.
I think she's a cokehead. I think I can hear it in her nose. Definitely. She's definitely got a blocked nose all the fucking time.
And the reason why is because we're having a conversation where we're disagreeing. So it's okay. And the thing is, we're not agreeing about anything. But how is it that we can be respectful in our...
Does anyone else get what I'm on about? She just switches a thing. The conversation isn't even about that. It's like she's forgot what the fucking question was. I've asked it 4 fucking times. Would you believe in the apocalypse if you never read about it in your dumb books? Yeah? Would you agree in the mark of the beast? Would you believe it's real? Would you figure it out for yourself if you never read it in a fucking book? Or was you trained to believe it's real? Not a hard question to answer, is it? But it's still no answer. She's just trying to waffle on about something that's not even connected anything to do with the fucking question that I asked in the first place. She just decides to get offended by the way that I asked the question after I get irritated that she can't fucking answer the question. Mad?
Disagreement. But then when you talk about my specific religion, you've now compared it to a fairy tale.
Did anyone else just hear her say specific religion? That's what I thought, because not once did I refer to a specific religion. I said all religions in general. So there's another bullshit thing she's saying.
And what you've done there is, right, I hear what you're saying. What you've done there is...
Well, you're not hearing what I'm saying, and I haven't actually done anything. You're just insinuating I've done something because you feel like I've done something, when I haven't really done anything. I've just actually described something that I'm seeing. And that's how I would describe any religion, is as a fairy tale, a made-up story, a fable. You know what I mean?
Disrespectful. You said, all right, maybe he wasn't trying to be. All right, cool. I could have held that and kept that.
All right, cool. So why the fuck are you still going on about it, you dumb bitch?
But then look at all the comments now coming after it. It shows...
Yeah, because you're still running your mouth and you still don't get the fucking point because you're still so fucking dumb. And the comments are fucking hilarious that I'm putting, so yeah, shut your mouth, man.
That he knows what he was doing has been...
No, I'm not saying that in the comments. I'm basically saying you're dumb. How can you get offended by a fucking word, by a sound that you're trained to believe has a meaning? Like if you was trained to think that every time you hear the sound of a fart, you've got to fucking smile and laugh and be joyful, you would smile and laugh and be joyful every time you hear a fucking fart because you've been trained to do it. Basically what religion is, isn't it? I'm just trying to make an example. But yeah, this is a dumb fucking twat talking again.
Disrespectful. He's continuing to take the piss, and it's just like,
well, actually, no, I'm not continuing to take the piss. I only said, yeah, religion is a cartoon once, yeah? I only said it once, or whatever I said, something along them lines. But I only said that once, and look how she dragged this on.
Me, personally, cool, I'm not going to talk to you about my religion.
Me, personally, I wasn't talking to you, you dumb bitch. I was asking everyone in general. I was asking everyone in general, would you still believe in the mark of the beast, or 666, or all this apocalypse bullshit, if you never was taught religion? Or would you just be getting on with your life, ploughing your fields, feeding your animals, fucking around with your technology? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you be doing?
We can talk about other things, but this, I'm not going to continue because there's no point. Because this is how you feel, and you can't...
I'm glad you noticed there's no point because you ain't got a brain cell to fucking function properly.
Have a mature conversation.
About a mature conversation? Bitch, I asked the question in 4 different ways. The first 4 ways, it was in a non-offensive, like, wouldn't offend anybody. And the 4th way was, would only offend somebody with the mind of a child who's just point out specific things that don't get the concept. You're just fucking slow in the fucking head, woman.
Disagreeing on things. I've not asked you at what point. Not one point did I ask him to believe in Islam or believe anything.
What has this got to do with Islam? This is what I mean. She's weird. She's actually weird.
I was saying, not one point. But what he did was be rude for no reason.
What was rude? What was rude?
For him to turn around and say that what I believe is a fairy tale, and I corrected it right there and then and said, no, you can use better language. That's what you can
do. Did you hear her? She's making a big hoo-ha about the very last time I asked the same question in a different way for the 4th time. Mad!
Hold on.
I'm not telling him to perform.
Shani, sis, have a little sober.
No, I know, but I'm trying to talk and I'm getting cut. I'm just saying.
She's trying to finish.
What I'm saying is not. It wasn't conducive to our conversation.
Even everyone's like, yeah, just let her finish, man. Let her finish, man. Let her shut up. Yeah, just let her shut the fuck up, man. Yeah, man. She's still waffling, man. Fuck, man. She's got fucking made it all about her. I bet even Shevs realised, like, I bet Shevs was thinking to herself, well, I didn't actually say religion, yeah.
That we're having to be offensive at that point. And this is the thing. I'm not asking him.
No, you chose to be offended at that point. I wasn't being offensive. I made that clear. I highlighted it multiple continuous times, and you still chose to be offended because you're still a dumb bitch. And I can guarantee that tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're still going to be a dumb bitch. So it's one of them things. Some things are never going to change, and I'm just going to have to accept it for what it is. I'm just going to accept that you're incapable of fucking using a brain cell.
To conform to believe that it's not a fairy tale. I'm just saying, use better language if you want to continue to talk to me. That's all it is.
And I jump in.
Continue to talk to me. Like I said, I wasn't talking specifically to you, as you can see from the very beginning of the video, everybody. But yeah, continue, Jad.
I personally feel like that's very entitled to try and tell a grown man to use better language. If he thinks something's a fairy tale, just like we sat here, hold on.
But Jed, now you're just instigating and insinuating things because, like, you can't just agree with me that I'm allowed to have my descriptive words that I choose to use because that's how I see it. You know, regardless of if she gets offended by it, that she chose to get offended by something she believes in so much. Come on, man. People who believe in what they believe in so much don't get offended. Like, really, they actually don't. Like, really. Think about it.
Just like we sat here and talked about 9/11, we sat here talking about space, we sat here talking about the nature of the earth, flat or hollow or round or whatever, and all kinds of things with fake, that's bullshit, that's rare. Everyone's beliefs were being confronted with the other person's beliefs. Yeah? Nah, that's bullshit. How can you believe that? Bro, that's a fairy tale. Fairy tale was used 1,000,000 times. So I'm thinking you got a sense of entitlement when you're saying to another man, you're saying to a man, use better language. He didn't use a profanity, yeah? And ultimately, we understand what he means when he says the word fairy tale. You want him to have a level of respect for your belief that
For me,
That's the thing. It's not about you, MJ, and you're making it about you, and this is why you're a dumb bitch. Because you're just like, for me, it's not about you. We're trying to have a logical, structural talk, and you can't even do that without making it about you. And you're trying to make out that I'm on a low fucking level of thinking. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, but it's truly for me. I'm not asking him to be.
Yo.
Conversating.
I know. Because when you ask me to stop, I just stopped. And this is what I'm saying. So there's.
No, it's not what you're saying. It's not getting
Shani, have a little supper, let me get to the point, and then you can come back in.
One for some people, and it's another for others. Yeah, ideas and beliefs are ideas and beliefs. To each their own. But when somebody doesn't think your idea or your belief is real, and he says it's a fairy tale, It's not a disrespect. It's his opinion. You wanted.
No, Jed, it was not my opinion. It was the way I was describing it because she didn't get it the first 3 times I said it. Yeah? I said it in layman's fucking retard language. Yeah, that a Mongol, a blind deaf geezer could fucking feel. Yeah? And she still didn't get it. You get what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with disrespecting or nothing. I was just trying to break it down into a more understandable way so even a retard could understand. You get what I'm saying? And she still failed at that.
Him to use another language, yeah. That's entitlement. You want him to change
that's fine.
But I'm just letting you know.
I'm being entitled. No, I'm being entitled.
Do you mind if I interject?
Hold on. When we talk about Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, the Republic and England and Britain, you hear bullshit, fuckery, this, that, the other, rare, and the conversation goes on. And these are people's cherished beliefs that I will use language that keeps them bears them in mind and bears their feeling in mind. But I'm not entitled. I'm not obliged to. That's a. Do you know what I mean? That's a bonus when someone does that. I'm just wanting you to.
No, but you see what they've done? They've basically convinced Jed now that I was meaning to be offensive by what I said, when from the very start I've highlighted that I didn't mean no offence by what I'm saying. I'm just putting it in a more simplistic way for you to understand. But then you're taking what I'm saying, weaponizing it and throwing it back at me like I've attacked you. But I haven't even fucking attacked you. And this is why you're getting attacked now. And this has happened multiple times. So this is why I'm making this video, because this bitch here thinks like she can make up the trail of events of what was said, when you can clearly see that I said it was like a fairy tale near enough at the end of that convo. And then after that I left it because her brain couldn't get the question. She just kept diverting the question with bullshit questions that had nothing to do with the question first asked.
I hear you. I promise you, I hear you. Because I understand this concept of being entitled to ask a man to use different language when speaking to me. Right? That's perfectly fine.
What do you mean, the concept of being entitled to ask a man of using different language? Like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, really? This woman is actually deluded differently, man.
Fine. It's not anything to do with him not believing in Islam. It's like, have some sort of respect.
What has Islam got to... At what point did I even mention anything about Islam? Like, can anybody rewind anything and find me mentioning anything to do with Islam in any of the conversation I had with her? Nothing. I cannot find anything. Can't think of anything.
For talking to me. Now, this is the thing. Since you've been saying everything that you've said, he's now attacking me personally. This is the thing. He's now attacking me personally in the chat, so he can't be on the panel for some.
Well, if I don't know you personally, how can I actually attack you personally? Just a good question, isn't it? Because I don't actually know her personally. And I'm not actually attacking her. She just started attacking me, as you can see through this whole fucking video, about something I said right at the end of our convo. Do you get what I'm saying? And now she's making out that I'm attacking her in some way. Fuck off, you deluded bitch.
Reason, but he wants to say all this shit about me.
What's the personal text?
I'm glad Jedi's saying this, because she's going to make them up now. Watch this. She makes up these attacks like they fucking... like she's super traumatized. Mad. She's got mental illnesses, you know.
Radicalized individuals.
Well, technically, she is a radicalized individual if she won't accept that I won't normalize religion in my life. Technically, you want me to believe what you believe just because you believe it's real. That's radicalization.
One second. So, radical.
Also, she's attacking me based on what she believes. That's also radical.
She's a radicalized individual. She doesn't even see. Clown woman made a joke of herself. Yeah, that's why you don't want to dump. Like, come on, it's like comment after comment.
No, that's truth, mate. That's just me telling you about yourself and you can't take it. and now I'm just recording the reaction of you not taking the facts about yourself.
And I'm just
True facts.
Oh, Jedi, come on! You know look.
Even Jedi. Even Jedi says the radicalized bit. Yo.
Absolutely fine. I don't mind that he disagrees. It's a whole conversation of disagreement.
She notice how she says she don't mind that I disagree, but she seems to mind that I disagree. She's a very contradictory woman, and a lot of religious people are very contradictory as well. Hence the reason why I'm not religious, because there's no point doing half a job, and in this world you can't do a proper job. So, because the Mongols like this, who pretend they're the proper job, but they're not.
It's just like, why are you trying to come for me personally now? Because we disagree.
I didn't come for you personally. You made out that I was just speaking to you when it wasn't just a question aimed at you. It's an open question to everybody and everyone on the panel. But she's like, why has he come for me? Why is it me that he's attacking? No, you've opened yourself up for attack now by talking shit. Like you was the only person I was talking to on the panel. You fucking weird bitch.
Because I asked you to use different language. You were calling me.
Do you mean because I asked you to use different language? Bitch, I asked you the same question 4 times. The 4th time I asked it in the layman's term, you got super offended and you drag it on.
Jumbo, hold on, wait 1 second. He came back into the chat. This is the thing. He came back into the chat and started continuing the fairy tales. I saw him saying about fairy tales. You started calling him an idiot, Shani.
No, but in her defense, what he said. Sorry,
he lied.
He just wanted to make a point because he basically.
Wow, did you just hear that big lie about I lied? Is that why I'm making this video, pointing out every fucking instant that you guys fuck up and chat shit? Yeah?
Said before that, it is what it is, and, he don't believe whatever. And then afterwards, when Shani, when he said to Shani that, it's a fairy tale, and then she turned around and automatically said,
"Ooh, so MD Trill noticed that it was afterwards." Yeah, she goes, "Afterwards." Yeah, I wasn't messing about. I was still being serious, but you think I'm messing about because I'm using different language. No, I'm bringing myself down to her dumb level to communicate with her dumb self. But what does she do? Act like a dumb person and just misinterpret everything I fucking said and took it for the worst, doesn't it?
Like, not to say that. It's not to say to correct your. It's not to say to correct your words. It's like, look.
Is that why you're trying to correct my words, dummy?
With me, these are my boundaries. So if you want to have this kind of conversation, like, please don't let it be.
How I work here is, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't fucking listen. Don't get offended. Fuck off. Simple. Not hard, bruv. About, if you want to speak to me, can you please speak to me in this certain way? Can you please identify can you please identify me as a carrot, please? Like, fuck right off, mate. You fucking weird bunch of people. You're wondering why your kids want to fucking change their genders. They got you as parents, man. Fucking weirdos.
Please not say that my belief system is a fairy tale. It's enough for you to say that you disagree.
No, but to see how she goes, please don't say my belief system's a fairy tale. At what point did I say your belief system is a full-on fairy tale? The conversation wasn't even about your belief system, you dumbasses. It was about whether, if you never read about the mark of the beast and the apocalypse and this and that in your religious books, would you still believe in those concepts? How is any of that anything to do with, like, mocking religion? Like, shut the fuck up, you lot.
And then he said,
if you want to have a proper conversation,
and this is the mad thing, now they're convincing Jed that this was fucking said. And now Jed is siding with these fuckers. Weird, man, weird.
Yeah, and he said after that, he said, this is why I don't like talking to people from religions and da-da-da-da, because they're always offended. I don't know, how am I supposed to say...
Well, that's true. They are always offended. Are you offended right now? Yes, you are. So, seems like I'm right about that fucking fact. This is how dumb and contradictory these dumb bitches are. You ever watch fucking Loose Women? These are looser women, I'm telling you.
And say what I believe without offending people, religious people. And she said, so he's now asking a question, how am I supposed to say that? And she's now given the alternative.
And did I not use the alternative 3 times before I asked the question in that way? Hence the reason why I made this video, to point that out, because you like to just twist up the narrative and make it falsified as if something that didn't happen happened, like you just did. Yeah? This is what I mean. These guys, yeah, forget what they say 5 minutes after they fucking say it, whereas I don't. So I made this video to point out how these motherfuckers are so deluded. I think the religion just warped their minds. Like, they just really don't even remember what they said 5 minutes ago. Contradictory.
The way you could have said that is to say that, well, I don't believe what you believe.
And that's what I said the first 3 times I asked that same question in a different way. But you still didn't answer it. All you did was answer me with another question that had nothing to do with the question I initially asked. It was something along the lines of, "Oh, you remind me of these old men who do nothing but sit on the sidelines. How active are you? What position are you playing? In what, you weirdo? In this fake belief of an apocalypse you have?" I'm asking you, why do you have this fake deluded belief of an apocalypse? Is it because you've read it in a book, yeah? Is it because you've been trained from a kid to believe it? And also, if you didn't have religion, would you still think of something like that? Would it just pop up in your head and think, "Oh, there's going to be an apocalypse. Oh, there's going to be a mark of a beast"? Like, you were trained to believe what you were trained to believe, and you're so simple-minded, you don't even get that concept that you're trained like a dog. You are literally a dog. You know, MC Ethnic Dog, yeah, that should be her name. Because she's literally trained like a dog from a book, yeah. That she don't even know the motherfucker who wrote that shit, but she's happy to fucking believe the shit, innit? She's happy to believe the shit. Take it forward, yeah? Take it for word, yeah? You take it forward. The fucking tricks. Full of fucking tricks, and you motherfuckers still can't see it. And I deliberately just said that a couple of times because for word, you literally take it for word, and that makes you take it forward. Do you get it? I bet that still went over your heads, but yeah, I ain't a dumb geezer like these people, man. Trill, yeah, red pill, mate, switched on. Even fucking golden child, he's fucking sick as well. Your Irish brother, he's fucking safe as well, man. There's a few people whose brains work, and like, that's what I'm here for. I ain't here for these fucking dumb fucking religious lost sheep. No, but I believe this in my Abrahamic religion, yeah, that this fucking deity fucking shit out of earth, yeah, it said this is gonna happen on this day, and I believe it. Fucking weird cunts, man. Prophecy, fucking deluded cons, man. You motherfuckers are the ones who build a fucking nuke because you believe it's God's work, and you motherfuckers will be building it. It won't be God making it, but you motherfuckers making it. You motherfuckers setting it off. You'd be like, it's God's work. You fucking crazy bastards.
I heard all of that. I heard all of that, yeah, and I appreciate all of that. But there's a couple facts that remain. One, if I say I believe in, for instance, flat Earth. If I say I believe the Earth is flat, and you say, well, that's a fairy tale, yeah. I don't really have the right to say, please don't say it's a fairy tale, because that's my belief, and the way that you should actually address it is say this and that. That's a ridiculous request. Hold on, man.
No, but he wasn't having an
Hold on, man. Fuck, man. Please, hold on.
Like, this is how you know they've got no, like, some of these females ain't got no fucking brain cells, because she's like, but he wasn't having a constructive conversation. That was a super constructive conversation, but the question just seemed to go over all of your heads, maybe because it clashed with your belief and your way of thinking that you was trained to think. I don't know, maybe the computer just like short-circuited or something, but yeah, man, fucking crazy, man.
Family, yeah? That's a ridiculous request. Secondly, when he left, yeah, and was continuing to use the word fairy tale about the belief, and that's all he was saying, you were calling him an idiot on multiple occasions.
And you know why?
One second. I never asked for it.
But I got a reason. I've got a reason. Fuck off, man, you fucking dumbass. But do you know why? This is all it is, man. He's just scoring points. Hey, I want to be the center of attention. Nothing she's saying has any substance. She couldn't even answer a logical question from somebody who doesn't believe in her narrative. This is religious people for you, by the way.
Interruption. I'm making a statement. It's not even a question.
And Jeds is actually calling out, but then he still attacks me. Like I did something wrong. No, I did the right method, Jed. I used the right terms, and it's after a couple of times, yeah, I got frustrated. And it weren't even frustration, I was just like, what other descriptive word could I possibly use? So I used that word because it was the only alternative, and your Irish fella got it because he even said, well, technically, folklore and fable is fucking fairy tales, isn't it? Yeah? So even he got the fucking point I was trying to make. But everyone else seems to like, yeah, man, mad
You
panel.
were calling him an idiot, yeah? So for him to then talk about, oh, you're radicalized, or this is where you're da-da-da. I'm not seeing, you crossed the boundary of personal insult.
You're right, did I, though? So let me tell you why. But I called him an
Because you're an idiot, that's why you did.
idiot, because he came up, because I said fairy tales are for children. This is why I was offended, because I was saying fairy tales are for children. Then he
No, but I asked that question in 3 other ways, and you weren't offended then when I said exactly the same thing in 3 other different ways. Mad.
said, oh, see, you even said it.
They're not for children, no. So that can offend other people, man.
She did actually say it. She said fairy tales are for children. It's exact words that come out of her mouth, and that's why I said it in the chat at that time. But she seems to forget that she just said that a minute ago. Like, weird woman, man. Weird woman.
Guys, oh my gosh, he came on and said, see, fairy tales are for children because you learned your religion as a child. And then Sarah said, well, actually, she's a revert, so what are you talking about? And I said, yes, exactly, you're stupid. And that's when I started calling it.
No, you're actually dumber than what I thought then, because you was indoctrinated into something. You're like, oh, I don't like this indoctrination. I'll choose this one. you fucking dummy.
Regardless of what, sorry.
Yes,
Danny.
but he did not. But even still, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm okay with leaving it. I'm okay with leaving it.
She just said she don't care. And that's the mind state of a religious person. They don't care if you don't agree with their narrative. They're still right.
Yeah, but you're just not going to stop me having my... Hold on,
No,
that's not going
to... I'm okay with leaving it if you want to leave it.
That's fine. But I still wanted to say what I wanted to say. So you just saying that ain't just going to just switch it up, Shani. I don't...
No, I'm not. Honestly, it wasn't my intention. I'm just saying I'm okay if you just don't want to talk about it.
You're still talking, Shani, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's just in reply. We're having a conversation, no? It's not an argument. Yeah. I'm having another conversation with you.
All right, you're still talking. And I'm saying, like, this is where you need to learn. Like, people should learn to chill. Like, and when they're being asked to chill, like, it's not for the sake of stopping you, for the sake of giving you a second or two to remove your personal or your feelings from any of the conversation. And we can just bring it back to a normal tone. We can discuss facts. Right now, we're at the point where you're rationalizing personal insults on him. Yeah?
Not rationalizing, Jed. She's irrationalizing.
Personal insults on him when he was talking about a belief. Yeah? And he did.
Get it right, Jed. I was asking her a simple question that she failed to answer in 3 different ways. So then when I asked her in a 4th way, she dragged on an argument and twisted this argument as if I was some kind of devilish, godly demon. And like, yeah, man.
Didn't insult you. Then when he went on to call you say you were radicalized, and the other statement that he made, which I don't think... Hold on, the radicalizing one wasn't like the sticking one. There was another one he said where I was like, yeah, that was rude. I can't remember what you said. He said
clown. Yeah.
Clown. Yeah. Clown. That clown one.
Yeah, but I can imagine her with clown makeup on right now. So technically, that isn't insulting because she sounds like a clown with what she's saying. So how is that insulting as well?
But the clown one, is that not equal to you calling him an idiot?
That's fine.
I say he's stupid.
Yeah, it probably is.
So
it's
you're wrong for that.
No, this is the thing. So that my
Shut the fuck up, man.
I think it's like...
You're wrong for that, though. No, but you're wrong for that.
He's doing right now. This is the thing. No, 1 second. Well, this is the thing. If I'm having a conversation with somebody, right, and then I say something, This is the thing. This is just how I work and how I like my conversations to be had. It might be.
Yeah, that's you, but everyone else isn't you, so no one else has to go with how you like shit, alright, Bab? Just sort of put that out there if you haven't noticed. Yeah.
A privilege, whatever you want to call it. It might be whatever, like.
White privilege is the word you're looking for. White privilege.
Whatever. But how I like to have a conversation with somebody is to have some sort of level
of ignorance towards what they perceive the world to be like. Yeah, in conflict with what I perceive the world to be like.
Respect. If I say something disrespectful while we're having a disagreement and that person corrects me and I've asked them, well, how else would you like me to say it? And then they've said... Well,
have you noticed, when it's with this woman, yeah, notice, yeah, it's always me. I. How I feel made me feel like this. I feel like this. I think like this. It's all me with you, MJ. It really is. And I've just come to notice that. Watch, keep listening. It's all me, watch.
You could say it like this, then one thing that I'd do is try and get it back to the conversation, but that's not what's happened. He's just literally took it all the way left, and now everything he's doing now is just to take the absolute piss out of my religion and I just don't see that, like,
I hear you, yeah, but like, I mean, when you say the absolute piss,
if you notice, it's all me, I, me, how I feel, me. She's a very selfish person. She can act like she's all religious and this and that, but yeah, man, just like basic, you pick up on these things, man, listening to these clowns for like a minute or two.
I don't know whether you're
I caught a clown again,
He really is taking a piss.
No, I wasn't taking a piss then, but this video that I'm making is really taking a piss. It's just showing how much of a fucking dumb bitch you really fucking are. I don't care who you are. I don't know you. I'm never gonna meet you. I think you're a dumb bitch.
Alright, cool. I hear you,
don't worry, God will smite you down for you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the absolute piss.
Shani, you don't have to debate everyone, you know, just read a person's energy.
This is the thing that he's quoting parts of your book.
People, just leave them be. We don't entertain certain people.
So,
and Chev, you're just ignorant as well. We don't entertain certain people. Like, not once, yeah, did you analyse what was actually being said in the context it was being said. You didn't even listen to my explanation of the context in what I was meaning it in, and then you're like, oh, well, we just gotta ignore some people. They're just fucking not like us. They're what would you call them? Primitive. Yeah, primitive in thought. We've got religion, so we're clever. You fucking primitive fucking donuts.
Pretty much. I hope you don't like
fairytales.
He's always very
where the argument is.
Brap, and this is why I like Heathen. He sees it logically. He's like, I don't see where the argument is. Like, what the fuck are you bitching about when man's actually right? It is a fairy tale. That's how he perceives it. Like, you get what I'm saying?
We can't have bare people talking at the same time.
Well, stop over talking everyone then, Chev.
So do you mind if I
Needs saying.
No, I want you to talk. Who's that? Heathen. Let Heathen talk because he hasn't had a chance.
Heathen, okay.
Neither of us.
Shani, no offense. I just don't know why you're so offended. Like, there's just parts of the Bible, there's parts of the Quran that you could actually compare to fairy tales. Jesus turned water into wine.
That's your opinion, bro.
No one else has ever.
The Muslim brother was like, that's your opinion, bro. Shut up, man, you fucking donut about that's your opinion, bro. You, literally, you would think, yeah, that, like, if a bird shit in your eyeball, that it was God giving you a message. That's what you would think, you fucking dumb, blinded, religious cunt. Go and fucking walk into a fucking volcano and see if God saves you, fucking idiots.
I've done that since. It's a story. I'm sure there's ones in the Quran. Didn't.
Fuck that. Go and get the fucking vaccination and see if your God will accept you. Simple. Yeah? See if heaven's real. Tell you, that's the perfect way to test religion. Get vaccinated, go on. I ain't religious, I ain't taking that risk, alright? Safe.
Muhammad go up to heaven on a unicorn or something. Like, you can compare them to fairy tales. Don't be offended by it.
Okay, do you know Heathen? Can I put it to you in this way, yeah?
And you know the funny thing is, some of these bods are Christians, yeah. Bro, you're offended, yeah. Like literally, you've literally adopted a religion that's not of your ethnicity or culture, and yeah, man, says a lot, man. Says a lot about how you know what's good for you. You don't fucking got a clue, mate.
Earlier in the show, there was the whole conversation about Trillo. Well, you know, Shani being Trillo, and the conversation that we had previously. Yeah, and before knowing that Shani was Trillo said something towards me in the chat, and there and then when she said it, I set my boundaries. That's just normal for any human being. You like to be spoken to in a certain type of manner if you're having a conversation, and if you feel like, hold on a minute, this is going past a certain line, so do you mind not saying it like this? As in, because I find this comparison to be offending to me, and if you would...
Hey, this is a pigeon, but do you mind calling it a chicken? Like, that's basically what you're doing. This is an apple, but do you mind calling it a pear just so I'm happy? Fuck off, man, you weird bastards.
Like to continue a conversation, then please avoid that. It's the same thing. If I was to say something about...
Religion is a measurement of stupidity, yeah? It's a good way to find out who the stupid ones are. Let's just say that.
If I was to say
even though we didn't do it that way,
you would correct me and say, look, don't talk to me like that. You have every right to say that.
Is it not then up to the other...
So, if you notice, yeah, this was originally about a question, yeah, that she was unable to answer because she seems not to have that mental capacity to understand the basics of human language that she thinks she does. So yeah, I'm just having to go through this long video, innit? Like, I'm making this long fucking video. So anyone that needs to fucking ever say, yo, MJ, you ain't got a fucking leg to stand on, you fucking chat shit, you make fucking events up that haven't even fucking happened, you manipulate factual information and things that was said, yeah, you take things completely out of context and switch things round, and you like to turn other people in the panel to your dumb narrative, and you always like to make things about you because it's all me, I. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, I noticed this shit, so I thought, fuck it. You kind of fucking irritated me by trying to paint me with a fucking bad brush, like I'm fucking bad for saying things like that I'm allowed to say, that anybody's allowed to say, but somehow it offends you. Just fuck off, mate, you donut bitch.
Do we even take that on board? No, and his standpoint doesn't stand with you. So if he still thinks that it's a fairy tale, he still thinks it's a fairy tale.
The issue then lies in his
yeah, but now they're going on like I was like, your fucking religion was a fairy tale. I did not say any way or shape or form, like, I did not say it in that way at all. I was basically saying, but you could compare it to a fairy tale then, like, just calmly, like, no offense taken kind of way, and they chose to amplify what I said to make it sound like I said it in an offensive way, when clearly the whole way through this video I have not said anything of the sort in an offensive way. Yeah, I said it in a way because she failed to understand the question that I asked 4 times prior to when I had to say it for the last time. So yeah,
response because he's condemning.
Because he's condemned. Shut the fuck up, man. You just listen to how much these motherfuckers make shit up.
Her for responding in the manner that he himself is also responding in.
What do you mean? Responding in? So, wait there. If you don't get it the first 3 times I say I'm just supposed to give up, I'm gonna say it in a way until you understand the concept of what I am saying, and then it might click in your head and go, oh, get the point you was actually trying to say. Do you know what I mean? Because you're just that dumb to fucking work out basic fucking questions.
Can I say something?
No, you cannot say anything. You're a dickhead, mate.
Are you trying to tell me that I have to adopt your belief? Are you trying to tell me I have to adopt your belief?
Not once did I say that, and I've said it completely.
I'm offended, yeah, that you think religion's real. Okay.
That's
so
fine.
Is that does that make us equal now? I'm offended.
I don't want to have a conversation with you anymore.
And this is the thing. I don't even want to have a conversation with you anymore. No, because I'm making good points and you ain't got a fucking leg to stand on because you're so dumb and warped-minded.
So you can address everyone else.
I'm offended that you think religion's not a fable. Is that equal? I'm just trying to make a point here. Because it's very hard not...
Right, boom. Yeah. You know, I don't want to have to keep moving close to the mic and all that shit. So what I'm saying is, Shani says she don't want to talk to you no more. I've muted Shani's mic. I've muted everyone's mic. I'm going to let you speak, and then whoever feels to respond to you can respond to you. I don't know where Zulu went either.
And this is where Jed tries to twist my words against me to try to make out that I'm in the wrong for saying things in the way that I did. Because there's nothing wrong with the way that I said things. But they chose to believe that there was something wrong. Like, it's weird. It's like me saying, hey, you look nice today. And then the woman go, he's just tried to hit on me. He's just tried to move to me. I'm like, whoa, just said you look nice. Whoa, doesn't mean I'm trying to fucking... You know what I mean? Same fucking thing.
But yeah, so I'm going to let you speak. So unmute yourself, H, and let's hear what you got to say.
So I'm going to start this with... Can somebody prove to me that you can have a logical conversation with a religious person without them getting offended with how you choose to see the world? Obviously, they want you to accept the world through their eyes, but they're not willing to, you know, see things through other people's eyes. Now, I don't have to adopt a belief that somebody else chooses to believe or was born into. As she says, fairy tales are for children, and I'm sure religions are meant for children. That's the ages when you're introduced to religion. So of course they're going to add fables and fairy tales in, but obviously religious people don't use their thing that God supposedly give them, what they believe God give them.
Yeah, because they're told to just lap up what they're fucking told.
Their brain, they don't think for themselves, and they seem to get offended when people use descriptive words. Now, to me, a religious book, is a fairy tale. In my eyes, that's how I perceive it. It's a fable, a fairy tale, and anything along those lines. Because it's not...
So basically, if I'm reading a story about an apocalypse and a mark of the beast, I'm going to be like, that's a mad fairy tale. Because it's not fucking real. Unless you make it real by going by fucking design. And this is what these dummies don't get.
It can't be proven. In my eyes, it's not real. So that doesn't mean that I have to say...
Hey, can you ever respond to my fucking voice?
Yeah, man.
That's the first time you hear it. You got to stop. You got to just have some discipline. I'm not even going to speak now, but I'm going to start stopping you random times in your speech, just so that you get used to just fucking like stopping and listening while you talk as well, and so you can hear if someone else is speaking. So carry on, but like just fucking hell.
And also, why do religious people seem to get triggered? Like, if you're so religious in what you believe and you're so faithful in it, you wouldn't have even reacted to that. It would have just been, well, it's real to me. It's like somebody calls me a packy. I'm not a packy. So I'll just look at them like, well, you're dumb. Because it's, do you know what I mean? Same principles apply. So if you're so rooted in your religion, you believe it's so real, that would not really have offended you, but you got offended by a descriptive word. I didn't mean to offend you, but you chose to get offended by it. That's all I needed to say. I didn't mean to offend anyone, but you just can't have a logical convo with a religious person.
Yo, H.
Yeah, man.
How do you, like, if someone said to you, oh, how about if you could use words like, and it's just a suggestion, if someone said to you that calling their thing as a fairy tale offended them, yeah, and you...
And this is the point where Jed should have analysed the video before he made assumptions, because now he's going to insinuate that I didn't use alternative terms based on how these lot have overhyped what has even happened, yeah? Now, if Jed's had taken his time to understand the scenario in the first place, he'd understand that I did use multiple different terms to describe what I was saying, but they refused to answer the question or understand the question. Therefore, I had to rephrase it in a way that was understandable to a baby potato.
Would it that a storybook or a fictitious
Same
story?
thing?
Because, yeah, but maybe the connotation...
yeah. Says it all, Jed, man. You just agreed with me.
Taken maybe different. If that person has said to you, don't call it a fairy tale.
No, but she didn't say that.
It's like somebody who's got mental illness saying, don't call it a mental illness, call me crazy. I'll be like, bro, you got mental illness. Do you get me? And religion is a mental illness, believe it or not. And this video is proof.
Just said that.
I'm not saying she said that. I'm just putting a...
Do you know what the funniest thing that I've always thought about religious people, yeah? Is imagine like you spend your whole life finding truth and chasing religion and you just die, yeah? And then it's just like nothing happens after that. It's just like been a waste of belief and... That would be just golden. That would be just golden. I'd be like, don't you wish you did something more with your fucking time? Ain't it?
What's the word?
So basically, I have to censor my mouth because of other people's
1 second.
mental illness. It's mad.
Can you stop for a minute, H?
Yeah, man.
Because I'm actually trying to get to a point.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like the way you're trying to take it is not the way I'm trying to give it. Like, so listen to what I'm saying.
Bro, you did, bro.
If somebody said to you, 1 minute, I find this calling it a fairy tale, do you mind, or whatever? Would you have an issue with saying, a fictitious story?
Same thing. She would still get triggered. I guarantee she would have still got triggered.
Whether or not it's the same thing, would you have an issue with changing it from fairy tale, the term they said was offensive, to fictitious story?
No, I have no problem whatsoever. But obviously, at the time, because I'm not seeing it as offensive.
As a man, yeah, that's exercising logic, and you're not in your feelings. If you could see somebody, like from your logic, religious people find it difficult to be logical. So what you do is, as a person with the higher intellect or the higher grasp of reality, was like, okay, let me find different ways to navigate this person's barriers that doesn't allow them to have this conversation, right? So as a smart, since you're the smart one, you'd be like, yo, all right, you know what? You don't like fairy tales? All right, let's just say it's fictitious. And then
But she would have still got offended, bro.
This is where I'm going to end this video, because that alone shows that I used alternative ways to describe what I was saying, but she chose not to recognize. So yeah, man, just a little thing. And let's go up to my comments as well, because I'm busting a few little comments. So let's go up here. It's around here somewhere, probably. But yeah, man. It's kind of the perfect example of how it's impossible not to offend somebody who is religious, indoctrinated, yeah, man, fucking extremist. Because essentially what that was extremism. You basically hyped up something that wasn't actually anything, just because you chose to misinterpret what was said. And even if you didn't misinterpret it, you chose for it to offend you, even though it's just a sound and a word that's just like anyone can make out of their mouth. I'm really trying to find these fucking comments because it's actually hilarious. But Yeah, man.